Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/Region Sports and regionsports.com. We come to you tonight from Highland High School as the Region Sports Network presents the Highland Trojans taking on the number 6 team in our RSN poll, the Hobart Brickies. I'm Lucas Moore. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's game, and joining me with the color analysis is Jay Simmons. Jay, 82 graduate, 83. Correction.
83
graduate.
Yep.
And that's important because the year 1982, that fall, if you'd have been an 82 graduate, you would have missed the very first matchup in this series. Was actually your 10-0 Highland Trojans battling the Hobart Brickies in the playoffs. Just take us back to that game as a nice starting point to move into what this matchup has become over the years.
Well, it was back then. It was the Duneland Conference versus the Lakeshore Conference. We were 11-1. It was the second round of playoffs. Hobart was 11-1. They were number 1 in the state. We were a huge underdog, just like Highland is tonight. You look at Highland 3-4 coming into this game, 1-2 in conference. Hobart 2-1 in conference, 4-3 overall. 2 losses to Maryville and Chesterton. So Highland's still in the same spot. 39 years later, they're still the big underdog tonight. And I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think if Highland can come out, establish a good running game, I think they got a chance tonight. And that's sort of the same thing we tried to do when I was in high school. When we were seniors, we tried to establish a running game. We really didn't have much success. Final score was 27-0. So hopefully it goes a little bit better for Highland tonight than it did 39 years ago. Yeah,
and it hasn't gone well for Highland in the 39 years since. Highland has never beaten Hobart ever. And in the last 3 matchups, 2 of those matchups happened in 2019, and one of them was a sectional game. Highland's been outscored 114-6 over the last 3 matchups against Hobart. So there's a lot of things that can turn here. There's a lot of things that can flip. This Highland team, 3-4, 1-2 in the conference. If you run down their schedule, Jay, it isn't atrocious. They have a 61-34 win. I know it's Hammond Central, but you drop 61 points. You have a shutout, 28-0 against Munster. It's the first time they've actually won the Battle of the Bridge 4 straight times. First time in school history. Never been done. They did it against Munster this year with a shutout, something that Hobart can't actually say they have this year. So might be some indications that Highland will turn this thing around. Coach Pete Koulianos in his 4th year at Highland, 15-22. You're close to this program. How are you feeling this coaching staff has done here at Highland in terms of pointing this ship in the right direction, not necessarily turning it on a dime, but getting this thing pointed in the right direction?
Well, earlier in the summer, me and Chris had sat down and, talked with Coach Koulianos. We're both close to the program. Chris is, graduate of Munster, lives in Highland. I'm a graduate of Highland, live in Griffith, so we're region people. We want to see Highland be successful. We met with Coach Koulianos, and we were talking about the numbers throughout the program, and they're starting at the lower levels and gradually getting this program going in the right direction. And Coach Koulianos is trying to meet with all the coaches up and down throughout the program. So I think it's one of those. It's like turning that aircraft carrier around. Once it's going in one direction, you turn that aircraft carrier around. It's going to take some time, and that's what Coach Koulianos is doing. And I think, his first year they had a lot of positive attitude. They didn't open up the playbook, and then last year with all the the less practices and not much practice, so he had to close the playbook down a little bit, and all of a sudden now he comes back, he has a good full summer with everything going on. So I think they're getting the ship going in the right direction. I think Coach Koulianos is doing a great job here. So but it just takes time. You just doesn't happen overnight, and that's the same thing with Coach Osika from Hobart. When he took the program over, it had hit a bottom point, and then he started to build that program back up, and now Hobart is back to where it used to be. And it's all with Coach Osika. He's done the groundwork. He's built that program up from the lower levels. 33-12 in 4 years at Hobart. He's done a great job, and he's being a Hobart grad.
Well, they're the defending state runner-up, the Hobart Brickies. Yet They're 4-3 this year. Their 3 losses have been to the defending conference champion Andrean, where they had to come back, lost on a field goal.
And we
at the
did
gun.
that game. Was that?
It was an incredible football game, Jay, with you and I there. They lost to Maryville, a tough one, 41-14. And they lost to Chesterton only by 6 when that was Noah Ehrlich's first start as a freshman quarterback against Chesterton. That's a tough one, right?
Yes,
First 3 quarters, he came out a little slow. And then he turned it on in the fourth quarter. And really, since that point, we talk about Noah Ehrlich, the freshman, 62% completion, 1,062 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
And we were there for that pick. That was one of the key points in that game against Andran. He threw that pick early on, and boom, sort of Andran sort of really banked on that extra 6 points right there to help them get to that victory.
So they're a state runner-up team coming back from last year with a brand-new quarterback. Yet, their 3 losses are reasonable.
Yes.
Their 3 losses are understandable. The Maryville and Andran losses happened last year when they went to the state championship game. So it doesn't feel like Hobart missed a step, especially because from Wheeler, Coach Osika says, I didn't even know he was moving here until he showed up, to be honest with you. And now Trey Gibson, in the first 7 games of the year, Jay, 1,077 yards and 20 touchdowns. In his career now, he's at 3,544 yards and 57 touchdowns. He dropped 253 yards and 5 touchdowns a week ago against KV. Cougars didn't know what hit him with Trey Gibson.
Trey Gibson, I think that's might be a key to the game for Highland, is to be able to try and control him. I mean, defensively, and we saw it when we did the Lowell game versus Hobart. They decided they were going to take one part of the game away. And they decided they were going to try and take Trey Gibson.
Worked for a little.
It worked for 2.5 quarters. Then all of a sudden, it like the lights went on, and Trey Gibson just started piling up yards after yards after yards. But that's probably the best since a 6A school has played Hobart for a team to control him. So he's the workhorse.
Yeah, the only 2 teams that have held him under 100 yards, Maryville and Andran. That's it. And there's some really talented. There's 2 D1 players guaranteed on both of those defenses.
Yes.
So it's just really interesting matchup. A lot of talent on the Hobart side. We'll see if Highland can turn the ship, can move it in the right direction. Can they operate that successfully? We'll preview this matchup even more on the Tech Tailgate Show, brought to you by Tech Credit Union. Tech Credit Union with 5 Northwest Indiana locations to serve you. Visit techcu.org for more information. We'll have the Friday night forecast on the other side of the break. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Those drops of water coming from your ceiling can make a lasting impression on your home or business. Before the tide turns, call Great Lakes Roofing, 866-551-7121. They work with your deadline, not theirs. From businesses to homeowners to property managers, the team of problem solvers at Great Lakes Roofing will be there fast and will exceed your expectations. And when the rain falls again, they will follow up to make sure that you're dry and comfortable. Great Lakes Roofing, 866-551-7121, or on the web at greatlakesroof.com.
And a big welcome back to the Tech Tailgate Show, sponsored by Tech Credit Union. With 5 Northwest Indiana locations to serve you, visit techcu.org for more information. This is the Tech Tailgate Show, Jay, and during this Tech Tailgate Show, we've got to inform everybody what the weather's going to be tonight, because it's time for the Friday night forecast brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, 66 degrees falling to 64, maybe into the low 60s, depending on things that I don't understand. I'm not a meteorologist. Tonight, about a 10% chance of rain, 0 mile per hour listed wind, but if it does come, it'll come out of the south-southeast. It'll be very soft, and frankly, something you won't even notice, and something we definitely won't notice up here, won't affect the game. That was your game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling with a 24/7 emergency service. Comfort isn't far away, and comfort won't last long in terms of weather for high school football, particularly Hobart. If you're Hobart, you're thinking you got at least 13 games, right? The way you played in the past, the way you match up with the sectional, you're going to be playing cold games, so you might as well enjoy the weather while you have it.
Yes, it's going to be a beautiful evening. You couldn't ask for any better weather than in the first full week of October.
Oh yeah, it's been excellent weather. Really, it rained earlier. I was a little worried about rain tonight, but it's clear as of now. Knock on wood.
With the turf, it's drained off nicely. I mean, if it was being played on a grass field, it would definitely be a mutter game,
which would be fun. But it'd be very hard to read the uniforms, so it would get less fun as the game went along. We want to remind everybody to follow all of tonight's region football scores once all the matchups kick off at 7 p.m. Central, live on the Strachan Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, streaming on Facebook.com/Region Sports and RegionSports.com. Strachan Van Til, your local grocer with over 89 years of heritage. And the reason I say Central is we've got people listening all over the country and all over the world, so they might need a time zone reminder. Central's often forgot about, right? They do the East and then the Pacific, and you're like, you guys in the middle can figure that one out. All right, let's dive in a little bit more to this Highland Trojans offense, Jay, because they're going to need to control the football tonight. You don't want to give the ball to Trey Gibson and Noah Ehrlich all night long and give them opportunities. You want to try to shorten the game. As the underdog, you want to try to take advantages of the opportunity you're given. Senior quarterback Nick Steele, he's not bad numbers this year, Jay.
He does
59.8%, 1,078 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. Another 7 touchdowns on the ground, almost 400 yards. So Nick Steele can produce some offense for Highland if his line and can block for him and open up those opportunities.
You see a quarterback averaging 5 yards a carry. That's pretty good, especially when you average in the sacks and all that other kind of stuff. And 14 touchdowns, so he is the red zone man. 7 through the air, 7 through the ground, like you just mentioned. So as he goes scoring-wise, so do the Trojans.
And this year, the Trojans have averaged 27.6 points per game. Now, the stat that's interesting, obviously, schedules need to be taken into account.
Yes.
Highland's 7.7 yards per play, which is actually higher than Hobart's 7.1 yards per play. So in terms of efficiency, you can make an argument that the Highland offense has been more impressive than some of the raw numbers suggest, like they're just 295 yards per game. In terms of other options on the field, Braden Jones, you look at him, 16 catches, 208 yards, and a touchdown. But really, Stevie Solomon is the guy to look out for. 20 catches, 420 yards, 21 yards a catch this year. For the junior Solomon, he's a weapon. He's certainly somebody that Craig Osika is going to highlight. And highlighted this week for the Brickies defense.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they can get the pass rush going, that's going to be the key, I think, for the Brickies.
Well, then, and if you look at, in terms of offensive linemen, let's go into the trenches and talk about a couple key players here, Jay. Connor Bach, the senior, as here come the Highland Trojans, as they'll pop into your screen across midfield here shortly. But when we look at the Hobart Brickies offensive line, it starts with the center, Connor Bach. The senior said that he felt like it was really his team. He's really become involved in the program. He's one of the leaders up front. And Trey Gibson mentioned this week in the article done by the NWI Times, hey, this offensive line is the big difference why my production has jumped. It was already incredible production at Wheeler, but even though the talent level that Gibson is running against jumped, his offensive line has been strong in front of him, and Hobart's really been making people move. We'll go ahead, set the headsets down, and pause for the Star-Spangled Banner.
Ladies and gentlemen, just with deep regret that I have to announce the passing of football alum Tyler Stacy, who passed away October 3rd. In his honor, let us observe a moment of silence for Tyler Stacy. Thank you. Now, if you could kindly please rise and join the Highland Trojan Marching Band as they play the national anthem.
A wonderful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner here at Highland High School. Jay, I've heard the term stomping grounds way too much, so I'm remiss to use it, but you are here at your place of high schooliness. There's really no other word for it, right?
Yes.
So Jay is home currently with Highland, but you're realistic. You've already mentioned in the pregame show the Trojans massive underdogs in tonight's matchup with the Brickies, and I think everybody involved with the Trojan program would admit they're underdogs. They've never beaten Hobart. You can't say you're anything other than underdog when you're trying to do something for the first time.
That's right.
In program history. But the great thing about this sport, you put 48 minutes on the clock and both sides get the number 0. It's about what you do in those 48. That will determine it. Coin toss happening in front of us. We were just talking about the offensive line, and that's going to be a perfect pivot point to your keys to the game, Jay. Throw us those keys. How are both of these teams going to try to achieve victory?
Well, for the Highland Trojans, it's going to be staying balanced offensively. They have 1,149 yards passing and 916 yards rushing, so they've got to be able to do either one effectively on any down to keep that very, very strong defensive line guessing on what's going on, especially in the secondary, linebackers, all that kind of stuff. They've really got to keep Hobart on their heels defensively. And I think for Hobart, well, we already talked about Trey Gibson, him getting out of control. That's an easy one, but I think right now for the Brickies is going to be, can they control that defensive line? Can they force Highland to become one-dimensional? So it's just the opposite. And then you got Sawyer, Pickett, Miller, Simpson up on that defensive line front. If they can control this game and make Highland one-dimensional, it's going to be a long night for the Trojans.
Make sure you stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio where we'll find out how accurate Jay's keys were for the game, where the RSN crew will be on hand to recap all tonight's action from around the region. That is the Centier Bank Studios post-game show. Make sure you stay tuned after that. And remember, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll have the Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game, Great Lakes Roofing Blue Collar Player of the game, and the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters Play of the game. All that coming for you here at Highland High School as the Brickies battle the Trojans. Highland won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Brickies will receive, And the most dangerous man on the field, Trey Gibson, back to return.
I would not let him get the ball in the open field.
Eric Tannis, one of the wide receivers, will hit a line drive that'll roll past Gibson and into the end zone for a touchback. Smart play by Gibson, electing not to pick up the highly irregular bouncing ball headed his direction, and the Brickies will start their first drive at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, nice job special teams-wise. I'm sure they practiced that. Something, keep it low to the ground. Just make sure Trey Gibson doesn't get his hands on the ball. I think that's good, smart fundamental right there to start the game for the Trojans.
Brickies will start at the 20 on the right hash. Noah Ehrlich, the freshman quarterback, 6 foot, 175 pounds, will be in the pistol. Trey Gibson just behind him. Handoff goes Gibson. He shimmies his way through the hole, and then he's brought down in the secondary by Nick Johnson for about a 4-yard carry, 5-yard carry, and it's second down and 5.
Yeah, nice job. Gibson just finding the simple hole, busting through it. Well, it's going to be a long night for the Trojans if the free safety, strong safety is going to be coming up and making the tackles.
Gibson 6.9 yards per carry, 5 100-yard games this year. His Brickies offense averaging 35.6 points per game, and they've only turned it over 3 times, Jay. Ehrlich, quick toss out left side. It's caught. It's brought in. This one by Abbott. Abbott has the first down across the 35 to the 36. And the chains move for the Brickies on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, nice pass. Ehrlich, a little combination route to the top side right there. Receiver comes open, throws it right on the money. We've seen a lot of him throwing that ball on the money quite a bit this season.
Abbott wearing the number 15 tonight, the senior, 5'11", 185 pounds. 14 catches, 229 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Coming into this game, he moved the chains there. Ball at the 35. Ehrlich handoff Gibson. He's tripped up in the backfield, only a yard or two. And that was a nice play by Cameron Bixenman, the junior. 6'4", 245. Big paw ended up cutting him down at the knee.
Yeah, good job just getting his hand in the way, tripping him up and slowing him down. That could be one of the better plays for the Trojan defense right there. They got to keep getting penetration and make Trey Gibson move around a lot at the line of scrimmage, get those linebackers involved in the play.
Second down and 8, empty for Ehrlich. Line to gain the 45. Ehrlich, quick toss over the middle, fitted into a tight window. A completion 3 yards short of the first down marker.
Yeah, Nick Jensen for the Trojans comes up and makes the tackle right there. Stopping him short. Big conversion down for the Brickies.
Abbott on the completion. Now it's third down and 3.
Yeah, Trojans playing, looks like a 3-5 type defense with one man, a nose guard right over the center. See if they blitz anybody on this play.
Third and 3. Ehrlich tosses one down the right sideline, has Jankovic inside the 30 where he's knocked out of bounds, and the Brickies offense heads into Trojan territory, and a successful first drive continues for Hobart.
Yeah, lucky for Austin Gambino right there on the coverage. Got beat pretty bad, but the throw was behind him by Ehrlich. The Trojans went man-to-man coverage on that play and blitzed 2 people, so they left their outside guys on an island by themselves.
24th catch of the year for Mickey Jankovic. He only has 1 touchdown despite having over 250 yards on the season. First drive of the game. Brickies on the move. Handoff Gibson, runs left, follows blockers inside the 15. A whole pile of Trojans is what requires to take down Gibson at the 10-yard line. And now a goal-to-go situation depending on the spot for the Brickies offense.
It looks like right at the 10-yard line. They're not even going to bring the chains down. It's going to be first and goal for the Brickies. Highland's got to stop him right here, force him to a field goal.
Goal-to-go situation for Hobart. Man in motion is the fullback, Braden Carlson. High snap handled. Gibson falls in. He fumbled. That ball was certainly out. It's on the back line of the end zone.
It's out the back of the end zone. I think it's going to be a safety.
Oh, and they're going to have to be a conversation here. Officials looking at each other, no official signal. That ball felt like it came out
before he crossed the goal line. Or a touchback. Unless one of the Trojans got it inbounds, it would have been a safety.
Well, I don't believe they're going to rule a touchdown. We would have seen that. I'd be surprised if they came out and called this a touchdown. It looked for sure that Gibson lost the ball on his way to the end zone, and it's a touchback. Highland has taken the football away, only the 4th turnover of the year for the Brickies offense. And the Trojans, you want to talk about upsets, that's the small window you've been given now. Let's see what Nick Steele and this Trojan offense can do on the other side.
Well, a big break right there. Trey Gibson, just as he's about to go into the end zone, fumbles the ball. Big play for the Trojan defense.
1st down and 10 from the 20. This Trojan offense, 27.6 points per game. They actually have 0.7 more yards per play than the Brickies offense does. So let's see if they can operate that way. Steele, quick throw, through the hands of his intended target and incomplete. Stevie Salmon, that big receiving threat we talked about in the pregame show, drops his first target of the day, 2nd and 10.
Boy, right. Nice throw by Nick Steele, right on the money. Maybe just a hair too soon. Receiver wasn't able to get his head completely around, but it was a very catchable ball.
Solid throw from Steele. It was right near the sticks. Felt like it would have been a 1st down for Highland. Drew Barsic in the backfield alongside Nick Steele and false start. Left tackle senior. Go ahead and jumped for a false start. It'll move the Trojan offense back 5 yards. 2nd down and 15 now. Line to gain to 30.
And when you talk upset, you're talking about the team that's going to try and do the upset. They've got to play a perfect game. And 2 plays into it, you have a drop pass and now an illegal procedure. Now you've got to overcome your own mistakes.
2nd down and 15. Nick Johnson in the backfield. Now check that, Leo Luviano in the backfield. And Steele under pressure, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like maybe...
It was a quarterback draw right there.
Quarterback draw into a massive pile. Nothing developed there.
And I think when we talked about the keys to the game, that front 4 for the Brickies, it's a dominant force. I think Highland's going to be their best effort's going to be going something to the outside, whether it's the passing game, running game. They've got to stay away from that middle interior offensive line, defensive line area.
3rd down and 15.
And another illegal procedure.
And a sloppy opening drive for Highland after they were given a golden opportunity from the Brickies. Trey Gibson fumbled heading into the end zone. Only the 4th time this year the Brickies have given it away. And those are opportunities you don't know if you'll ever get again if you're the Highland Trojans, especially with the way the Brickies have taken care of the football in 2021. 3rd down, 20 now. 10 negative yards from penalties. Steele steps up in the pocket, fires one down the seam, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, they had double receivers to each side. Outside receivers ran posts. Inside receivers ran wheel routes, well covered by the Brickies.
Eric Tanis, the intended receiver there. It would have been his 9th catch of the year if he'd been able to grab it. And now the Highland Trojans forced to punt, so that valuable takeaway from the defense will not lead to points or really even field position for the Highland Trojans, a real worst-case scenario on the 3-and-out.
Yeah, the Brickies, even if it's a really good punt, are going to probably get the ball in their own territory.
Tanis back to punt. Nice little spinning punt. Going to be fielded in plus territory at the 35. Pushing towards the 30 and inside it is Mark Enslin, where he's brought down near the 25-yard line. There's a penalty marker down near the 35. We'll see what that flag is, and that will determine where the Brickies begin their 2nd offensive drive of the day.
I'm going to assume it's a block in the back or something, or a holding on the Brickies, so it's going to take them back a little bit. Big penalty right there. Instead of starting at the 26, I think is where they had the ball marked. Probably start back at about the 45, so 19, 20-yard penalty for the Brickies.
But starting in plus territory after fumbling a ball into an end zone is a positive for Greg Osika and his coaching staff. It's at least about as positive as that situation can be. Speaking of Osika, I mentioned his record, 33-12 in his 4th year at Hobart, back-to-back regional titles he's sitting on. State runner-up last year. Hobart alum, also an alum of Indiana University where he played football, and he spent 4 years in the NFL. Quite a bit of experience on the far sideline for this Brickies coaching staff. Now Ehrlich back with the football. 1st and 10. Handoff Gibson up the middle, maybe 2 yards off the right hash, and it's 2nd down.
And if you can see the receivers for the Brickies there, it looks like they're going man up with a free safety over the top. They're trying to bring an extra man up into the box and try and stop Trey Gibson. So they're selling out. So like Lowell did a few weeks ago, they're going to try and sell out and try and stop the running game here.
Anthony Williams is the tight end past the top part of your screen. Luke Abbott, the slot receiver, and on the near sideline is Mickey Jankovic. Ehrlich, eyes left, flips a pass to Williams, and he caught it. Nice throw on the back hip of Williams. 2 Highland defenders sprinting towards the football. That throws anywhere else, Jay. Could have been an interception.
There was a good combination route right there. That was the inside receiver running an out. The outside receiver was coming running an in pattern. If he would have just held on to the ball 1 split second more, looked like that in route was going to come open. Instead, he threw it to the out route, and both 2 Highland Trojans were right there to greet him as he caught the ball. Big 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6. On the year, Highland defense allowing 3rd down conversions 36% of the time. Ehrlich, 3-step drop, quick dump out. Gibson working sideline, has the 1st down where he's dragged down by Hofkamp, the leading tackler on this Trojan defense. But he tackled too late, and the sticks moved.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough order for Hofkamp. They're going man-to-man on the outside, so that means one of the linebackers is going to have to cover the running back coming out of the field. And for Hofkamp to run from his inside linebacker position to get all the way out to the flat, that's going to be a tough order all night long for him.
Ball to 31 now. 1st down marker at the 21 on this 1st and 10. 2nd drive of the game for the Brickies. 1st one ended with a fumble into the end zone. Braden Carlson, the man, softly in motion. Ehrlich gives to Gibson. Big hole up the middle. Took advantage of it and got out to the 25-yard line. 7-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, good push by that Brickies offensive line. Brickies are doing pretty much what they want to do in between the tackles right now. They're getting a great push up front.
2nd down and a long 3 now. And this Brickies line, we mentioned Connor Bach in the pregame show. Mentioned how far he's come and how far the line itself has come. 4 or 5 starters returning on that unit. 2nd down and 3. Ehrlich zips one, and it's incomplete. A nice defensive play. Stepping up was Austin Gambino to make that play. And the intended target was Luke Abbott.
Yeah, Gambino. Now, on that particular play, Highland went to a zone coverage. Again, one more second, he would have had the wheel route wide open going down the sidelines, but he chose to come to the quick slant right there, and Gambino jumped it nicely. Got there right as the ball did, knocked it free.
5:38 remaining, quarter 1. Ehrlich handoff Gibson. Pushes right side out to the 20, an easy 1st down. Looks like they'll mark him inside the red zone. And it's the 2nd time that the Brickies have found themselves inside the 20-yard line of the Highland Trojans. 2 out of 2.
Yeah, let's see if they come away with some points this time. Again, the Brickies just getting a nice push with their offensive line right now. Trey Gibson, 5-6 yards a carry. I think he's only run 1 negative play so far.
Well, Gibson last week, an amazing game. 26 attempts, 253 yards, and 5 touchdowns against the KV Cougars. They'll toss to Gibson left. He cuts back upfield. Nice job holding the edge to hold it to just about 1 or 2 yards. But at least some positive movement again for Gibson. And you just mentioned that, Jay. When the negative runs are 1 or 2, you're doing a really good job in the run game.
And Highland did a nice job right there. when Gibson got the ball, he looked like he wanted to go all the way out to the sidelines. Pursuit came up and forced him back to the inside where the rest of the team can come up and make the tackle.
Second down, and mark him back almost to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be a second and long 9 or 10, however you want to mark it. First down markers at the 9-yard line. Ehrlich floats one, end zone, caught. That's Mark Enslin on the catch. No, check that. Luke Abbott on the catch for the touchdown. Abbott, the senior, with his 4th touchdown of the year, and the Brickies open up the scoring late in the first quarter, and this time they capitalize.
Yeah, nice job. Nice throw right there by Ehrlich. Just floats it out there. Receiver runs right underneath it. A tough route to cover in man coverage. When you're running that corner route and you don't have any support over the top like the Trojans did not on that play, it's tough to cover.
Speaking of Mark Enslin, who did not catch the touchdown, he's the holder on this play. Snap back, hold is good from Enslin. Kick is up, and it's good. Mickey Jankovic puts it in. A 7-0 Brickies lead. They had 2 opportunities inside the red zone. They get 1 touchdown out of the 2, but still a good start for Hobart nonetheless. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability. That's the Total Disposal promise.
Big welcome back to Highland High School as the Brickies have opened up a 7-0 lead. A touchdown catch from Luke Abbott, delivered by Noah Ehrlich, his 11th touchdown pass of the year to just 1 interception. And let's go ahead and talk about that touchdown, Jay. I mean, Luke Abbott wide open, ran underneath the football. Beautiful arcing ball from Noah Ehrlich to drop it into the corner of the end zone. Great pitch and catch, and it's been like that all year for the Brickies.
Yeah, Luke Abbott, just a simple corner route. Again, Highland in man coverage. Again, that's a very tough pass to cover. And the free safety that was over the top trying to give support just was not able to get there. And Ehrlich just floated in. Abbott didn't even have to break stride. That's how nice of a throw it was.
Ehrlich continues to impress as the Brickies will give it back to the Trojans, who will try to respond. They went 3 and out in their only opportunity of the day. As that ball off of Luviano's face mask, he ends up scooping it at the 2-yard line. He's going to be swallowed up inside the 10-yard line. Did everything he could to fight out of it, but a bad play from the jump and bad field position for the Highland Trojans. And bad has really been a decent descriptive word for this rivalry in terms of how it's gone for the Trojans. They've never beaten Hobart in their history. They've been outscored 114-6 in the last 3 versus Hobart. Highland hasn't even scored 20 points in the matchup since 2009 when they lost 21-20 in overtime. That was a whole 4,375 days ago. It's been a while.
You are the time master with the number of days.
You just got to Google it, man.
He even has people in the press box amazed.
And I think that should be goal 1, is get this offense moving. A nice little pitch out right. Luviano with a nice room to run on the outside. He picks up about 4 or 5 yards close to the 25-yard line. That's Leo Luviano with his 28th attempt on the year. He's now over 200 yards on the year.
That was the 15-yard line.
15, excuse me.
That's all right.
I'm used to – never mind.
But, that's what I talked about last series for the Trojans. They're not going to have success against this very physical defensive front. They're going to have to work to the outside, work the passing game. Coach Koulianos is going to have to open up the playbook and throw when he doesn't want to.
This team runs at a 60% clip on the year. That's a dead play.
It looked like it was offsides.
Looked like maybe Noah Miller jumped off for the Brickies. We'll wait for the call from the White Hat. It's going to be an encroachment.
Yeah, it looks so they'll pick it up.
And they'll be right there knocking on the door of their first down of the game.
Yeah, second down, and it looks like about 1. this is when we talked about it. The better the Highland offense does, the less Trey Gibson has to open up the scoring for the Brickies.
You just remember that fumble into the end zone early in the first quarter, and if you're a Trojan fan, you might be thinking about that for a while as Steele is brought down 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and what should have been a 3rd and short, but Steele unable to even get back to the line, and now a 3rd and medium.
Yeah, Jake Simpson for the Brickies right there wraps him up before he can get anywhere. It looked like there was 2 or 3 Brickies just as he was faking the handoff and trying to get upfield. Looks like the Trojans right there were doing a little play action, trying to get the defense going one way and bringing the ball back the other.
They go jet sweep. Put it in the belly of Luviano, who works towards the 30. Slung out of bounds there by Jacob Ramirez, but it's a 1st down. And the Trojans, for the first time today, move the sticks.
There we go. That's what the Trojans need right there. Get some momentum going on their side.
And it's 1st down and 10 from the 31-yard line.
But I think part of the thing that if the Trojans want to be successful is to try and throw the ball when Hobart's not expecting it.
Nick Steele, the quarterback, just under 60% completion coming into this game. The senior looks right. Tosses one out into the flat and just beyond the extended hands of Salmon, his intended target, and it's 2nd and 10. Felt like the play was open.
Yes, it was. Yeah, Solomon would have caught that. He could have turned it up and got upfield for a few extra yards. Steele just, the last 2 passes have not been very accurate. The first pass was right on the money but dropped, and now he comes back with 2 very inaccurate passes.
That one might have even been a miscommunication. Hey, I want you to run along the line of scrimmage instead of 3 yards past one of those maybe things. Just not on the same page, the Highland offense. 2nd down and 10. They need the 41 for a 1st down, trailing by 7. They'll do the jet sweep to Luviano again, this time to the right side. He has the edge. Leo Luviano makes a cutback inside the 45 to the 47-yard line, just short of the 50.
Boy, nice job of running by Luviano right there. And Brandon Jones downfield doing a great job blocking downfield, helping his running back get some more yards down the field. Big play for the Trojans right there. Let's see if they can get into the Bricky territory.
And just if you're a Highland fan, you wish this would have happened right off the turnover. Because 7-0,
Yes.
I mean, we're talking, this is how you open up windows. Now let's see if they can pull that window back open on this drive. 1st down and 10 from the 47. We're under 2 minutes to play, quarter 1. Salmon, the man you see moving back and forth. They'll give to Salmon on a sweep. He shows the speed, cuts back upfield, a nice juke. How about Stevie Salmon, a spin move to get out to the 45-yard line of the Brickies, close to the 1st down marker at the 43.
Boy, nice job of the running back right there, making Mark Enslin, one of their very solid Bricky tacklers, just whiff in the backfield, and he makes a couple great moves. Boy, 2nd down. Now Trojans got some momentum going here. They got the Brickies on their heels a little bit.
2nd down and 1, over 100 yards rushing on the year now for Stevie Salmon to add to his 420 yards in the air. 2nd down and a long one. Blitz shown up the middle. Flores coming hot. Pitch out right side. This one in the hands of Barsic, who's dragged down short of the line of scrimmage. And now a big 3rd down near midfield for this Highland offense. First time they've been in plus territory.
Yes, Steele's got to take that option. A couple more steps, get the flow of the linebackers to come to him. He pitched that ball way too early, and Ryan Flores from outside linebacker position just came up, read it beautifully, made the tackle for a loss.
3rd down and 3. Line to gain, the 43-yard line of the Brickies. 10 seconds on the play clock. Man in motion, Luviano. And a fumble on the exchange. And we'll see who got the football. But there was a false start on the far side by the wide receiver. No flag thrown.
No flag thrown. He looked like Canadian football. He might have been about 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Honestly, if I'm Coach Koulianos, I'm like, hey, that should have been blown dead.
Yes,
we need a 3rd and 8, not a 4th and 5. I mean, that's one where you argue for a penalty on your own team, I'd say. And a timeout taken on the field. We'll go ahead and step aside as well. 7-0 Brickies lead, end of the first quarter. We're heading to quarter number 2. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
Big welcome back to Highland High School. You watch the Trojans and Coach Pete Culianos huddling up. Culianos, 36-32 record in 7 years. He coached at Hanover Central before making the move to Highland, 15-22 in his 4th year here with the Trojans. I mean, 15-22, if you know Highland's history in the last 20 years, 15-22 is not a crime. That's something positive moving forward for Pete Culianos. Is a program only 2 winning seasons since the millennia turned.
Well, and look at the conference they're in. It's a tough.
That's a tough guy. I mean,
every week you've got a tough opponent, and it looks like they're going to punt it away. I hear a heavy sigh from you there.
4th down, snap back, and the punt is away from Eric Tanis as it goes inside the 20, and we'll stop at the 14, 13-yard line, wherever you want to mark it, and that is where the Brickies' next drive will go. To me, Jay, I don't know. To me, I go because
I agree with you. I think if you're a big underdog, you got to take the chance. The only thing I would say right now is that your defense did play pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, there's your argument. Your argument is you don't want your team to give up on you right now because you go for that 4th down, you don't get it. Brickies get an easy touchdown. Ball game's over. Right?
Right.
So is this delaying the inevitable or is this trusting your defense? That's why hindsight is 20/20, and that's what we're going to find out right now. 11:48 to go, quarter number 2. 7-0 lead for the Brickies. See that hard count from Ehrlich. The handoff goes Gibson, and the ball's out. Highland's on it. Ball is out. Trojan football. Yes, it is the Highland Trojans ball. Gibson has fumbled twice, only 3 turnovers coming into the game from the Brickies. Now have 5 on the season, 2 in this game. And the Trojans have some real life here, Jay. They've got the ball inside the red zone.
Well, they've got to come one way with the touchdown right now. There's no other choice. You do not settle for a field goal here.
Window opened again. Hobart had a fumble going into the end zone, would have put him up 7-0. That was early first quarter. Highland responded with a 3-and-out. Bricky scored a touchdown on the ensuing drive. They've been given another opportunity. Gibson put it on the ground, and now Nick Steele, the senior, 7 touchdowns through the air, 7 on the ground, in empty. Man in motion, Luviano. Option play right. Pitch goes to Luviano. Uses the stiff arm to push out of bounds near the 10-yard line, inside the 10. First down markers inside the 5, Jay, and it's 2nd down. A nice positive first play. And how about Nick Steele?
Nick Steele took the pop right there. He sold one out for the team on that one. He took it. Remember how I said the previous time they ran option, he pitched it too early? That time he pitched it perfect timing.
Got rid of it just before he took a big lick from a Bricky linebacker. And now it's 2nd and 4 from the 8. Barsic in the backfield alongside Steele. Steele under pressure, floated up there, it's intercepted. Nick Steele had pressure in his face up the middle, and it's intercepted, a backbreaker. And it looked like Josh Tejada on the interception from what I can tell from this side of the field. The gold numbers kind of disappear on that far sideline, Jay. But unbelievable.
Steele, just as he was getting ready to throw the ball, got hit right in the shoulder. But it looked like they were running a combo route. He was going to throw the quick slant. The defensive back that was covering the fade jumped off of that receiver and was right there for the interception.
And as quickly as the window opened, it shuts once again. Ehrlich handoff, Gibson. Both hands on the football this time as he trudges across the 10-yard line to the 12, and it's 2nd down.
I'm sure as Gibson came to the sideline, Coach Osika described how he wanted him to carry the ball the rest of the game.
And you can't tell him you're going to, a guy's got 1,077 yards. You can't say, I'm going to sit you down if you
No, you don't.
That.
You don't sit him down, but you have a discussion about how to carry the ball.
Buddy. Two hands.
Two hands until you get into the open field.
Gibson, if he keeps at this pace, will easily pass 4,000 career yards this season. As Ehrlich will hand off to Gibson. And remember, he's just a junior, but the Highland defense doing a great job on him now. Just 3 yards on the first play, no yards on that play, and a 3rd down and 7.
Yep, Highland's creeping an extra man into the box. So Hobart's trying to spread them out, but yet Highland's still. So that makes them susceptible to the pass. So let's see if Brickies going to throw deep in their own territory here.
Well, how about this Highland defense led by the defensive coordinator, Eric Miller? Done a great job so far tonight. Only touchdown they've allowed is when the Brickies started inside of Highland territory at the 45. Ehrlich, quick toss to Gibson out of the backfield. He plants both feet, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. 4th down and a punt. 3 and out for the Brickies. And how about the Trojans' defense?
Yeah.
Awfully impressive performance so far in the first half.
Gavin Hofkamp took Gibson one-on-one right there and did a nice job. 5'10", 185 pounds. Trey Gibson, 6 foot, a little bit over 200. Hofkamp did not give any ground, kept his balance, just attacked him right between the shoulder pads. Great job.
Well, and we go back to that punt that Pete Koulianos decided to do near midfield. That's trusting his defense. He knew what he saw on tape, and the Highland defense has shown out these last 2 drives. The punt from Jankovic above the lights here at Highland High School. Stepping up and fair catching it. Nice fair catch.
Yes, very nice.
At the 39-yard line. How often do we see that ball in high school football kick down all the way to the 30? So you're at minus 30 instead of plus 39.
Yeah, that's a great job going up there. It was like you said, up over the lights, so he had plenty of time to get there, set his feet, and make the catch.
How's Nick Steele on the fair catch? The IQ of a quarterback, one would say. 1st and 10 for this Highland offense.
But, Highland's been doing some nice things, running the ball to the outside. Let's see if they can keep that up. They abandoned the run in between the tackles. They did it a couple times on the first 2 drives, nothing doing, so they're going to stick with the outside. They've got to get that pass game going here a little bit.
Nick Steele already an interception today. We've seen a drop pass. We've seen a few errant throws. 1st and 10. Opportunities have been there for Highland early in this game. Steele eyes downfield. He elects to go underneath. A nice pitch and catch to Salmon. He's inside the 30 where he's pushed out of bounds. And a 1st down for the Trojans. Salmon involved again, and they got to get the football to this guy.
Yes, they do.
Super speedy junior.
Yeah, just a simple couple guys crossing the center right there. He just eyeballed to see which one was open. Boom. Nice throw in stride. Nice catch, gets up the field. Big play, Trojans.
No blitz there that time from Hobart. That's where they got the interception off of. Do you expect pressure this time?
I definitely do. I think if they see that they're not getting there with their 4 rushing, then they're going to start bringing some heat.
Steele will sprint left immediately after catching the snap, continues to bounce outside, makes a spin move near the 20 where he's slung down. Nice pickup on 1st down, though, brings up 2nd at about 5. Approaching 9 minutes to go, quarter 2, Jay, a 7-0 Brickies lead. A touchdown from Ehrlich to Abbott, the only score of the game, although Brickies were knocking on the door and fumbled the ball into the end zone.
And you can see right there one of the reasons why Steele is the leading rusher for the Trojans. Nice job getting it outside. Then he makes one of his blockers, sets up one of his blockers, bounces off to the outside of that. He did pay the price. Ryan Flores is going to be in his nightmares tonight because he's already made 2 big hits on him.
Ryan Flores has made a lot of lives difficult this season. The couple of Hobart games we've had the opportunity to, Jay, he's been flying over the field in those as well. 2nd down and 6. Steele rolling right, eyes downfield. He throws on the run and zipped one directly to Salmon. That's the best throw of Nick Steele's night, and it gets the Trojans inside the 10-yard line.
And the nice thing about that, great play call right there, the Brickies blitzed up the middle, double A-gap blitz, and Steele, perfect time on the call, rolled out to his right side, threw a dart right to the receiver. Big pickup for the Trojans.
1st and goal. Sometimes throwing on the run can be a little more natural, and it felt like Steele's mechanics were the best we've seen all night. Luviano, the man in motion. They'll give to him. He tries to break it outside. He's going to lose yardage. Luviano, instead of working the line, fell backwards. He's all the way back at the 15-yard line. A 6-yard loss on 1st and goal. Brutal start to the goal-to-go possession for the Trojans. Second time they've been inside the red zone today. First time Steele threw an interception.
Yeah, and a good job right there. We've mentioned his name a couple times. Ryan Flores for the defense. Stayed his ground. Did a nice job getting up into the backfield. 5-yard tackle for loss.
Highland has played well. Their defense has shown out. They just need a score to make the scoreboard match how the game's gone. As a high pass intended for Solomon harmlessly hits the blue turf in the end zone, and it's 3rd and goal from the 15.
Yeah, Solomon ran right into some triple coverage. It was man coverage underneath, and they had the free safety over the top. Free safety from the other side slid over just as he saw the ball thrown. So 3 brickies right there. Good job, Steele, throwing that one away.
3rd down and goal from the 15. I mean, do you run the ball for a 4th and goal? There's a couple options here for the Trojans.
Yeah, it also depends on your field goal kicker.
Steele's going to roll out right. Look to throw. Eyes towards the end zone. Takes a hit as he drops one in the bucket. A beautiful throw to the senior Braden Jones. And the Trojans are an extra point away from tying up the Brickies here in quarter number 2.
Wow. And he waited and waited until that last second to release that ball. Took the hit. Like you said, dropped it right in there. The receiver had no choice but to catch that one. And just as the receiver from Highland got some separation from the defensive back right when the ball arrived.
17th catch of the year for the senior Braden Jones, his 2nd touchdown. And if this extra point can be knocked in from Tanis, the Trojans will have tied the game. The snap was high and the kick was blocked. And no tie game, 7-6, but Highland will take the momentum nonetheless. Bricky's offense will try to respond. We'll step away. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
Highland responds. A big-time 15-yard on the run, drop it in the bucket throw from Nick Steele to Braden Jones, a senior-to-senior connection, and the Trojans only down by 1 after the blocked extra point. Hey, if you want to follow all of tonight's Region football scores live on the Strachan Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, it's streaming on Facebook.com/Region Sports and RegionSports.com. Strack and Van Til. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at StrackandVanTil.com. We also want to remind you to stay with us for halftime as we connect the first and second half of tonight's game. That's the Hose Connections Halftime Report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. 7:46 to go, quarter number 2. This Highland defense has given them plenty of opportunities. They've capitalized on 1, and it's a 7-6 game. As on the return, Abbott, he's brought down short of the 25-yard line, and that's where the Brickies drive will start, and that's where this Trojans defense gets a chance to make another statement, Jay. If they can turn this into the Trojans defense played their best game of the season, that to me looks to be the path to victory.
Yeah, they've done a great job defensively. You know what, this sort of reminds me of the Lowell Hobart game that we did, where Lowell really got a very slow first half. Same thing against Andrean, very slow start. Seems like they don't wake up until the second half.
Ehrlich in the pistol. Handoff goes Gibson, and he's brought down. Did he fumble again? It's going to depend. The ball was certainly
right there,
out.
Highland's got it. Highland has the ball. I thought that ball came out way before he hit the ground.
And it's Trojan football. I mean,
they're talking about it. Let's see what the officials come up with.
Both teams making subs. It would be a big reversal here if they said he was down.
They're waving second down.
Ooh. So they have the conversation. They do the high school version of an instant replay, and they change the call on the field. Blue flag was thrown, so somebody on the field saw it as a fumble, but instead it's second down and 10. And what felt like a truly miraculous moment, that Trey Gibson would fumble 3 times, not just in a game, but in a half. If that fumble had counted, Hobart would have matched their turnover total for the season in the first half here at Zip Field.
Well, to me it looked like the ball came out before he hit the ground, so hopefully maybe when we go through some of the replays at halftime, we'll be able to tell what happened.
All those replays will be brought to you by Castle Automotive Replay, Castle Automotive Group, sponsoring the replay. Castle Subaru in Portage and Castle Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick in Chesterton. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. 7:25 remaining second quarter. Still Bricky football. Felt like they had a turnover a second ago. They did not. Anthony Williams with a catch just past the 30, 4 yards short of the first down marker. And Nick Steele on the tackle there, plays secondary and quarterback.
Well, you want your best athletes out on the field as much as possible, and Nick Steele's one of those guys. Then he came up, made a solid tackle on a very much larger person as Williams is.
And you don't often see quarterbacks be able to play the defensive back position. But when you do, that IQ and understanding defenses can be a big part of it.
Yeah, he did a nice job breaking on the ball and coming up making that tackle.
Handoff Gibson. He is desperately holding on to the football. He gets the first down. And really, we're not watching for how many yards Gibson's getting at this point, but whether he holds on to the ball. And it's so uncharacteristic from Trey. It doesn't appear he's wearing any sort of brace or restrictive thing on his.
Well, you got to think possibly could be the Trojan defense. They're tackling the ball. They're going up and stripping the ball. One guy's coming in low. Could also be good coaching by the Trojans right there, working on taking that ball away.
Highland did have 10 takeaways coming into the game, so that had been a trend for them this season. The handoff to Gibson. He's tripped up at the 40 and then launches himself 5 yards to the 45. He's 2 yards short of the marker at the 47.
Well, as he lost his balance, like you said, he launched, and that carried him for an extra 3 yards.
And it's second down and 2. This Highland defense, big moment for them. It felt like they had the biggest moment of the game with a fumble recovery. Officials grouped up, gave the ball back to the Brickies. Second down. Highland defense a little late getting set. Handoff goes Gibson. Penalty markers down. This one might be coming back on a 2nd and 2.
It seems like Hobart all of a sudden is getting into that momentum of getting in between the tackles, getting that big push. But like you said, in the area where there is a hold, we will see what the call is.
It is a hold on the Brickies, so move that marker back. It's going to be second down and 12 if they stick to the penalty mark, which they will. 5:31 left in quarter 2. 7-6 the advantage Brickies. A missed extra point, the only thing separating these two teams. And if I had told you this when we started tonight, Jay, hey, with 5:31 in the second, the only thing separating these teams is an extra point. I think every Trojan fan takes that.
Yes, they do. I mean, you've got to feel you are in this game. Come up with a big stop here defensively. Get the ball back. See what they can do on this in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. Big set of downs for the Trojans.
2nd and 12. Ehrlich zipped one. His receiver fell. Near disaster for Josh Tejada in the Brickies. Nick Steele was sitting right behind Tejada, who fell on the turf. And had Nick Steele been doing something like jumping that or trying to knock it down instead of playing that safe coverage, boy, that could have been bad or good, whatever side of that play you're on. 5:10 left in the second.
And we talked about it before in the pregame. A lot of rain this afternoon. That could have been the cause of it. We haven't seen many people slip though on the field.
Turf looks dry, but rain during the day, you never know if it can be a bit slippery. Looks like a screen. It is one. It's incomplete.
Oh.
Braden Carlson couldn't find space behind that offensive line that allowed the Trojans to come through. And it's incomplete. It's 4th down and a punt now for the Brickies. And how about the Trojan defense, Jay?
Yeah, Nick Johnson almost came up with the interception. 3 defensive linemen ran to the quarterback. Nick Johnson, the outside linebacker, saw the running back sitting right there with the offensive line. If he catches that, though, he had 3 or 4 offensive linemen in front of him and space to run. A big play right there for the Trojan defense.
Continuing to step up that Trojan defense, led by defensive coordinator Eric Miller. This one high in the air. Nick Steele with a fair catch, and a tough fair catch,
yes,
but he
was.
makes it at the 35-yard.
Yeah, had a little bit of interference with some players in front of him, but nobody touched him. He was able to come up with the ball.
Generous spot on the fair catch, so give him the 35. 4:56 left, second quarter. And now the Highland offense, the only touchdown they've had, they were given that field position off a fumble. Now they if you want to prove you can pull an upset in this game, Jay, you've got to string together a drive at the very least to flip the field position again.
That's right. And if the Trojans can do this right, take the ball, consume some time, get a score in, and try and leave the Brickies as little as time possible before half.
1st down, 10. Trojans offense trying to change the narrative. Steele slips left side, continues to slip out of tackles, fighting hard Nick Steele for a nice 8-yard pickup. How about that run from the senior quarterback?
Yeah, shown some elusiveness right there. Made a couple guys miss. The nice thing about Nick Steele on that play was he let the flow go to the wide side of the field, and as he pulled the ball, he just paused for a second, let his blockers get downfield, let the pursuit flow back against him, and he did a nice job just cutting it back. And it looks like we got a timeout, Trojans.
Coach Koulianos will use a timeout. We'll use one as well. Highland trying to change the narrative on this drive just before half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Big welcome back in to Zip Field here at Highland High School. Mind you to stay with us for halftime as we have the Hose Connections halftime report brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. So make sure you stay with us for that. Also after the game, we'll have some awards to give away. The Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Great Lakes Roofing Blue Collar Player of the Game, and the IKORCC Play of the Game. All that coming up on our broadcast here at Highland High School tonight. 7-6 the score. The Trojans on a 2nd and short. Steele sprinting right side, has the first down, but it's going to get called back for a hold as Steele continues to carry defenders inside the 20. And how unfortunate that those 2 flags are sitting at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, right there where the edge was set. Vince Cruz, the right tackle, looked like he held on just a little bit too long. 2 flags came out. It was right at the point of attack. That's where Nick Steele bounced it right to the outside.
An amazing run from Steele.
Yes, it was.
Taken away, and it went from inside the red zone to now it'll be 2nd down and about 12.
Yeah, big call right there. Good call by the officials right there at the point of attack. And that's how Steele was able to bounce it to the outside. Now they've got to be able to overcome this. And, you want to run a play where you get at least 5 or 6 yards so it's not 3rd and long. You want something – you don't have to throw the ball deep on this play. Let's just get something comfortable and then go for it on 3rd down.
Another thing the penalty does, though, is stop the clock.
Yes.
Which might give the Brickies more time on the other side of this drive. Steele sprints out immediately right. He fires downfield looking for Jones, and he's pulled down. Pass interference, an easy call from the back judge.
Any judge that was near it threw the flag.
Nathan Queer looked like he's going to be called for the pass interference, the junior. Just dragged him down. That's an easy call. Braden Jones earns that pass interference.
Yes, he does.
And I always say a pass interference is earned because you have to get open to get interfered with.
Yeah, and I think if he doesn't interfere right there, the receiver had him beat to the inside because the ball was thrown to the inside. He may have had 6 points right there. You'd rather give up the 15 than the touchdown.
Yeah, and that example right there is why in the NFL that's a spot foul. I mean, I think the NFL would be absolute chaos if you made pass interference a 15-yard penalty.
Every play there'd be a
boom, ripping him down. I'd rather 15 than this one. First down and 10 near midfield. Trojans look like a penalty set them back, but a pass interference from the Brickies kickstarts the drive again. Steele fakes the handoff Luviano. He drags a tackler just past the line of scrimmage to the 50. Jake Simpson on the tackle that time for Hobart.
Yeah, coming all the way across from his right defensive end position. Doesn't get fooled by the play action of the running back going across the field. Sits at home and makes a nice tackle.
Second down and 9. Highland taking their time as they should. This should be, if you're Highland, the last drive of the half. You wish it to be the last drive of the half, whether you score or not.
Yeah, you take the play clock down to 5 before you snap the ball.
Well, that scoreboard right now in that time in this quarter is already much better than many Highland fans thought this one would go tonight. Steele fakes a handoff and sprints out left side where he has Green to run in. He's past the first down marker and inside the 40. He was tripped up across the 35. And how about Nick Steele starting to find space and starting to use the speed?
Yeah, Nick Steele, again, sets up one of his blockers. He gives a head fake to the inside and then bounces it to the outside, does a great job, and he stays in bounds again, burning some more clock. Like you said, you want this to be the last drive of the half.
First down and 10. Ball at the 35-yard line, left hash. Need the 25 for a first down.
Again, Highland milking that clock down to under 5 seconds before they snap it.
Man in motion, Luviano. They'll give to him. He's working the edge. He's going backwards. He's trying to get the line of scrimmage. He'll get it before he's pushed out of bounds. Ended up actually picking some positive yardage up on the play. But at first, it looked like a disaster again.
Yes, it did.
And you just can't make that bow motion, right, Jay?
No, you cannot. You got to stay flat to the line of scrimmage and then cut it up. I thought once he bounced it way back, like you said, that it was going to be a loss for the Trojans.
And play will be stopped. A Brickies player down on the Highland sideline, so we'll go ahead and step aside. Highland on a big drive near the end of the half, down by 1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Stojkovic and Associates utilize the latest in technology. Ethos Dental Group would like to join you in welcoming Dr. Emily Hansen to their team. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle.
Hi, I'm Amanda, the driver recruiter at Area Transportation, where we pay more because we value our drivers.
Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes. Anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
There you see the Highland Trojans huddling up, and just off to the right of them is a real tough effort from Jacob Ramirez. Went down for the Hobart Brickies on the sideline, and he's walking off with a little bit of assistance, but starting to look like regain something in that left leg. But really scary moment on the sideline. Glad to see Jacob up and moving. The sophomore in the defensive backfield has been a really key piece tonight for the Hobart Brickies, and he's really stepped up in his sophomore year. This is a younger Brickies defense, and Ramirez is one of those really key pieces that's going to determine whether the Brickies are continuing to make deep playoff runs under Coach Greg Osika over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Coach Osika, he seems to have a nice blend of underclassmen to go along with some seniors. I know when you make a run like they did last year, you're going to lose some quality players, and you've got to have guys that can fill in really quick. And he did a nice job doing that this offseason.
Well, now they're missing a piece in their secondary, a starter in their secondary, and the Highland Trojans on a drive, 2nd down and 7. Highland only trailing by 1. They have never beaten the Hobart Brickies. They've been playing this series since 1982, not yearly, but 1982, and the guy sitting to my left was a part of that game. A Highland season that started 10-0, ended at the hands of the Brickies, and there's been a lot of games ending with Brickies wins since that point. Highland trying to change the narrative, and a whistle before the snap.
I didn't see a flag come out, so I don't know what.
It's 2nd down. So a conversation happened between the white hat and the far line judge. Man, I would kill for them to be wearing a mic that I could hear.
Well, you know, this sort of takes a little bit of the air out of the balloon for the Trojans. Had some nice momentum going, and then all of a sudden it's just like comes to a grinding halt. Let's see if they can pick it back up right where they left off.
On the other end, though, the Brickies just watched one of their teammates on the opposing sideline. We'll see how their defense can respond. 2nd down and 7. Handoff right side. Luviano following blockers. He runs into a pile of Brickies near the 30, maybe 2 or 3 yards on 2nd down. And it's 3rd down, 5 to go. They need the 25 for a first down, Jay.
You got to think that you're in 4-down territory, especially after you missed an extra point. You got to go for it. So you got 2 downs to get these 5 yards.
This could really change the game heading into the locker room, Jay.
Yeah, the way that it looks like right now, the Trojans maybe get your quarterback, Steele, out of the pocket, roll him out to the left.
Bad snap. Steele handled it. Not a lot of pressure coming. Steele will look to run. Gets the edge. Has a few yards and the marker. A first down for Nick Steele. Great play from the senior. Bad snap, handled it, evaluated his options, noticed that everybody dropped back in coverage, and then ate the yardage for a first.
He also had Brandon Jones, the receiver, sitting in the flat wide open. He could have flipped it to him. He could have gotten a first down, but a nice job of just tucking it. And then once Jones realized he was going to run the ball, turned around and made a key block for him to get the first down.
And it's 1st and 10. Line to gain is the 12-yard line, 12 and a half. Steele rolls out right, throws on the run. Another great throw on the run. And Braden Jones on the catch inside the 10 to the 5, and they might just have Nick Steele throw on the run every time. He has been incredibly accurate moving to his right.
Yeah, that's every time he's thrown.
It's been pinpoint.
And it's been to his right.
Also, his touchdown pass was rolling to the right, Nick Steele. Under 2 minutes to play. Highland down by 1. Ball at the 5 of the Brickies. It could be a narrative-changing drive to the end of the half. Barsic, Luviano, and that is going to be really close. Hobart saying that it was on the right tackle, and it was. So false start will push him back. First and goal from the 10. And that's
what you didn't need.
and just made it a little harder.
Yes, it did.
Well, Steele will make the argument as a quarterback, well, actually, it gives me more space on the back of the end zone and more holes in the coverage.
That's a good argument. I'm sure Coach Koulianos was not happy about that.
Looking on the bright side of things, yeah. Luviano, the man in the backfield, alongside Nick Steele. Pitch left, it bounced, picked up, though, by Luviano. He cuts at the 5, and he scores! Incredible from the Trojans. Ball hit the turf. Luviano scooped it like a scoop and score, and he scores.
Yeah, that ball bounced straight back up to him. What a great play right there. Steele on the option, takes it to the side, flips it out there, bounces right back to the running back, and he runs it in for the score. Luviano does a nice job right at the point of attack, cuts it back, and all the Brickies were overflowing right there, so a big score for the Trojans.
And that replay was brought to you by Castle Auto Group. Castle Subaru in Portage and Castle Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Buick in Chesterton. They are going for 2. This would be to go up 7. The Highland Trojans lead the Hobart Brickies with 1:49 in the second quarter.
Well, the way they're lined up, I'm going to have to say Nick Steele's going to roll out to his right.
Steele will drop back, straight back. He'll roll left now and be brought down. Tried to escape left. Wasn't really a roll, but a no-good 2-point conversion. Highland shouldn't care, though. 12-7 lead over the Brickies. Now the defense needs to step up heading into half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Changing the narrative. It's something that every high school football coach, Jay, dreams of when they take over a program, specifically a program like the Highland Trojans, who've only had 2 winning seasons since the century turn in 2000. Pete Koulianos already changed the narrative once. He started dominating Munster in the Battle of the Bridge. They've won that matchup 4 straight times, including a shutout this year, first time in program history. And if this results hold, and plenty of time left, this would be the first victory against Hobart in Highland history. And if you want to achieve that goal, a 12-7 lead with under 2 in the first half, Jay, that's about as good as it could have gone for the Highland Trojans.
Yes, it is. What a great drive, some nice passes, mixing it up. And it was one of the keys to the game was Highland keeping it mixed up offensively, and they did a nice job on that drive doing both. And a nice job special teams right there, making sure Trey Gibson doesn't get the ball in open field. The ball rolls into the end zone.
Now, this feels like an even more important drive at the end of the half than normally in this situation. Because of the long halftime, because of the emotions of sub-18-year-olds on the field, if this Highland defense can hold,
which they've done pretty well all night.
They forced 2 fumbles today. The Trojans are going to walk in that locker room with their hair on fire and holding the momentum. But the Brickies, if they're able to drive down the field here, it changes the entire outlook of the game. Put 1:49 on the clock, 80 yards to go for Ehrlich. Handoff Gibson, brought down near the line of scrimmage. Huge tackle on the play.
Yeah, number 51 for the Trojans.
Picks him in on the tackle. He has his helmet come off on the play. He's sprinting off to the sideline. He's got to come out for a play. A great tackle.
Yes. He did a nice swim technique, got loose into the backfield, and stopped him cold right there. Second down and 9.
Clock was stopped because a helmet came on. 1:30 now. Ehrlich. Look for the swing pass, decides not to take it. Now the freshman on the move. Nice throw on the run. Found Gibson in space. Now Gibson with room to run along the left sideline. He's inside the 40. He's inside the 30 where he trots out of bounds uncontested. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a special play from a freshman quarterback. held onto a football after a pump fake, rolled left, dropped it in the bucket, and Gibson used the speed, and a back-breaking play for the Trojans.
And right there you can see why Ehrlich's so good is because right when he pump faked, the linebacker was covering Trey Gibson, blitzed up, and thought he's going to get to the quarterback before he could throw it, and he just dropped it right over the top of him. Big play for the Brickies.
First down and 10. Ehrlich, the freshman, showing that he's pretty good as he zings one. Caught just past the 20. Inside the 20 is Anthony Williams. Note, check that. Josh Tejada on the catch. They've started to get him involved in offense.
Yes, they have.
He had the big interception earlier in the game that kept Highland from having a 2-score lead here if they'd been able to punch it in on that scenario. Tejada with the catch. Second down and 5.
Yeah, Tejada doing a nice job, and we've seen several Hobart games, and he's, like you said, he seems to be slowly working his way into the offense.
Second down.
Big play for the Trojan defense. See if they can get a stop for loss here.
The long play from Ehrlich to Gibson has put the Brickies inside the red zone. Handoff Gibson, following blockers, taking Trojans with him inside the 10, where he's brought down at about the 7. And a timeout will be used by the Brickies and Craig Osika with 1:05 left. Brickies knocking on the door of stealing the momentum back from the Highland Trojans. We'll step aside for 30. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Brickies on the move. Noah Ehrlich with a really special play on the run. I mean, really a brilliant play from Noah Ehrlich to get the Brickies in this position.
Yeah, it looked like the Trojans had him locked up on that.
It took a broken play.
Yep, took a broken play, and that's, sometimes broken plays go your way.
Well, and that's the difference of having a quarterback. They can make broken plays. You see that all the time at the higher levels of football. Elite quarterbacks able to make broken plays into positive plays. Handoff Gibson, and he's in. Touchdown Brickies. Trey Gibson, his 21st score of the year, and the Brickies lead once again with just under a minute to play here in the half. And
took them 49 seconds to score.
49 seconds, and everything changed in this stadium.
Yeah, Trey Gibson, just a simple dive play, drags the Trojans all the way to the goal line. Great push by the offensive line. It's hard to stop when you got those guys pushing the pile that good.
And that replay is brought to you by Castle Auto Group, Castle Automotive Group. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. The extra point is up. It is good. Jankovic makes it 14-12. We'll step aside for another 30. Will the Trojans respond with 59 seconds in the half? Find out next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Backbreaking if you're a Highland Trojan fan. 1:39 in a lead against the Brickies. In the first half, you're getting ready to head in the locker room with a lead against the Brickies, a team you've never beaten, a team that's outscored you, I remind you, 114-6 in the last 3 games. You had doubled that score total in the last 3. It felt like you had a lead 49 seconds the other way, Jay. And
I'm still, if I'm on the Highland sideline, and I see that scoreboard, we're only losing by 2 points.
Well, you're the alum, so you can say what the feeling is, right?
Yeah, I'm
more guessing.
And I'm excited. We're coming back out, getting the ball to start the second half. We're in this game.
Couple fumbles in the first half from the Brickies. One near fumble. We remember that one. This one fielded by Luviano. The kickoff inside the 5-yard line. He's continuing to sprint outside, and he's going to be dragged down high on the shoulder pad. No penalty marker down. So he's brought down right at the 10. 50 and 2 ticks on the clock. And guess it was just the shirt?
Yeah.
I mean, when you tackle high and you see jersey pull, often we'll see that penalty marker come out at the high school level especially, but not on this scenario.
Yeah, Luviano, he's got to take that ball and just go straight up the field and get what you can. Now he's put him in the hole. Bricky's got 2 timeouts left. Can the Brickies get another score before halftime?
Well, Craig Osika will be looking for that, the aggressiveness from him, especially knowing that Highland gets the ball to start half number 2.
Yeah, definitely. If you get the ball to the 20, maybe you punt it to midfield, you know, with maybe 20 seconds or so left. I think Highland's got to just run the ball here, hope to try to get the first down.
And Trojans are going to use a timeout. And we'll go ahead and keep it here and tell you about all the great things we'll have after the game. We'll have the Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crown Companies have offices open from 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. They are the insurance superheroes. We'll also name the Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Great Lakes Roofing. Great Lakes Roofing, Chicagoland's #1 commercial roofing contractor. And we'll have the IKORCC Play of the Game, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Learn more at IKORCC.com.
Hey, let's go back to that first read. Go back to the first one. And who is that presented by? Crowell Agency. That was my quarterback for half of the season, Tom Crowell.
Tom Crowell. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it's
well, we did that documentary over the pandemic, did we not?
Yes, we did. Yeah, so
a lot of things to check out in our RSN archives. We were just talking
the Blue Bloods. I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah, I did a few of those series, and then we as a company did a few of those series. We talked to Josh Harvoth. He helped edit The Spirit of 76 about that Maryville Pirates team that won the state championship a year after the Valpo Vikings won, and that was a fun matchup last week between those two teams. Well, fun for Maryville. As Steele, with 50 seconds left, fires one deep down the left sideline. Had a man, and Salmon is incomplete. And Stevie Salmon was wide open. No Bricky in sight, but it's incomplete, out of bounds, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah,
would have been a huge momentum swing.
Yeah, just let him a little bit too far to the left as he released the ball. Steele again took a big hit right there. Boy, it was a catchable ball. Would it have been a great catch? Yes. That is one of the hardest passes to catch when you're running and you have to go opposite shoulder. That's one of the toughest catches out there.
2nd down and 10. Steele going to sprint right immediately, and he has to tuck and run. Brought down just short of the 15. And, boy, what a great defensive play that time from Jake Simpson. We've seen that roll out so many times today, Jay, and he predicted it in a Trojan down on the field right now.
Yeah, and the Brickies call a timeout. Looks like number 76 for the Trojans.
That's their starting right tackle, Vince Cruz. We'll check on him on the other side of the break. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Those drops of water coming from your ceiling can make a lasting impression on your home or business. Before the tide turns, call Great Lakes Roofing, 866-551-7121. They work with your deadline, not theirs. From businesses to homeowners to property managers, the team of problem solvers at Great Lakes Roofing will be there fast and will exceed your expectations. And when the rain falls again, they will follow up to make sure that you're dry and comfortable. Great Lakes Roofing, 866-551-7121, or on the web at greatlakesroof.com. Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Walking off under his own power, Vince Cruz, love to see that. The right tackle for the Highland Trojans. Hopefully he gets back out there as soon as possible. We want to give a big thank you to Toyota of Maryville for sponsoring high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. And when you're looking for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Toyota of Maryville. Toyota of Maryville, we make it easy. The next vehicle I'm looking for will be pre-owned because those 2012 cars, Jay, they're real nice. You know, my car has crank windows right now. So you give me a Bluetooth system, AC, and power windows, I'm going to be chilling. So 2012 works just fine for me. 35 and 3 ticks for the Highland Trojans, a 3rd down and 6.
Highland desperately needs to get this first down.
Steele, fake the run, then pitch Luviano. He has the edge. Penalty marker down.
Looks like it's going to be hold on the outside there by number 3 of the Trojans.
And the back judge is tossing the same flag just for fun. Same area.
Yeah, Solomon on the block out there did a nice job sealing off the linebacker, but he did too nice of a job.
29.4 seconds.
But then the good thing is right there, it does burn some more time. They got to run the play. The Brickies will call a timeout.
Yeah, Hobart's going to try to take a shot at it.
Oh, definitely. They got that high-powered, high-octane offense.
Now holding on Highland, a half that was sprinting to a conclusion has now rolled into molasses.
A grinding halt. So it looks like it's going to be 3rd down and about 12.
And yet, the pace of it shouldn't make us forget about the enormity of the last 2 minutes we've seen. We've seen Highland take a lead, what looked to be going into halftime against Hobart, and the Brickies respond in less than 60 seconds, Jay.
Yes.
To take the lead right back.
That's how high-powered this offense of the Brickies is.
And it was really one play. It felt like the Highland defense was going to hold, but now the offense can't make any mistakes. 3rd down and long. Steele immediately sprinting right. Gets the 20, close to the 25. He might have got it.
It looks like where they're going to mark him. He got the first down.
And how about Nick Steele again, showing some serious legs. He's had one heck of a first half as he moves the chains.
And a great job sealing off the edge right there by the right tackle. And the receivers doing a great job downfield, sustaining their blocks, and a key right there, not holding on that particular play.
Well, now if you're the Trojans, are you trying to find a way to get those 21 seconds off the clock and go into the halftime locker room?
I would think I would be taking a knee right here.
Still 2 timeouts in the Brickies' pocket. Blitz coming. Steele will run against it and then be brought down from behind.
And the ball comes out, but after he was down. But Hobart calls a timeout.
So the Brickies will use both. And you can still run the clock out, though.
Yes.
If you're Highland.
I just don't understand why they'd be calling a timeout here.
Well, Coach Osika, he's been in the NFL. He knows better than us. We'll take 30 seconds. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
He said start the clock.
He called a timeout. You can't.
The clock's going to run out. Is that right?
Clock is running out.
How? He called a timeout.
And the half will run out. Looked like it was a timeout taken, Greg Osika, but the time runs out. And the half is over. And Highland will take it. 14-12.
Yes, they will.
We'll evaluate what just occurred at the end of half, and then we'll report back to you in the Host Connections halftime report. But before we go, you're a Highland alum. How do you feel? I mean, before we go into break, because we get to the Host Connections halftime report, 14-12, 2-point game. Trojans in it, never beaten Hobart. Only 6 points in this series. Over the last 3 games, they've already got 12 points in 2 quarters. How do you, 1983 Highland graduate Jay Simmons, feel?
I'm excited for the second half. I can't wait for Highland to get the ball to start the second half, take the ball down the field, and punch in a score and take the lead. When I saw this matchup on paper, when we got the matchup earlier in the week, and I started looking at some of the statistics and looking at the scores, and to me, I thought it was going to be a running clock in the second half or in the fourth quarter. So to be at this point, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the game, would you take a 14-12 2-point deficit going into halftime? Yes, I would have, and I'd be fired up. As a former Trojan, I'm fired up. I'm trying to play the middle ground as best I can here, but I am fired up for the Trojans. I think they're playing a masterful game. Coach Koulianos is doing a great job defensively. They have done a great job. Offensively, they've done enough to get the 12 points, but defensively, outstanding.
It was a long road with a lot of weird twists and turns that we'll break down on the Host Connections halftime report coming up next. You're watching Game Night. Highland competing. They've had a lead. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking. Buy a car, remodel your home, pay for an education, expand your business. Tech Credit Union can help you do these things and more. You'll enjoy the latest banking services, but without the cost of the big bank relationship. With branches throughout the region, fee-free ATMs nationwide, and online services, they're convenient too. Learn more at techcu.org. Contact any branch or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA. It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/JavaWave.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Stojkovic and Associates utilize the latest in technology. Ethos Dental Group would like to join you in welcoming Dr. Emily Hansen to their team. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle.
Hi, I'm Amanda, the driver recruiter at Area Transportation, where we pay more because we value our drivers.
Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
For over 50 years, family-owned Bud Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Bud Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at budinsagency.com. For over 50 years.
And a big welcome back in. Friday Night Lights here at Highland High School and Zip Field. How about the Trojans? A really surprising result in the first half. They had a 12-7 lead with 1:39 to go in quarter number 2. Sub-60-second drive in response for the Brickies. And if you're a Hobart fan, you say, well, that's how the second half's going to go. If you're a Highland fan, you look at everything that led up to them getting a 12-7 lead. You look at them having an opportunity in the red zone, turning it over, having another fumble that they had a 3-and-out ensuing. And you can almost say, hey, we might have missed some opportunities.
Yes, they did.
In that first half, and that makes for a really exciting and intriguing half number 2, Jay.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said right before we broke away, that, hey, the Trojans get the ball to start the second half. So that is going to be a very critical drive. They don't have to come away with points, but if at least get a couple first downs, flip the field. And the Highland defense has played pretty darn good up until that last drive when they had a big play. But other than that, they played extremely well and have shut down Trey Gibson.
And you could make an argument that play was even a well-defended play.
Yes.
It was just an even better offensive effort from Noah Ehrlich and Trey Gibson on the scramble. All right, let's go ahead and do a scoreboard update from around the region, brought to you by Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store with over 89 years of heritage. Jay, some scores from around the region. Give it to us.
Let's get to it. All these scores are late in the second quarter because this game seems to be moving a little bit faster than most. We've got Valparaiso 17, Portage 0 at the half. Also, we have Hanover Hanover Central 35, Wheeler nothing. Let's continue on. Crown Point. Now, this surprises me. Crown Point 7, Chesterton 7. I thought Chesterton was going to be in the hunt for a DAC title, but we shall see as the game goes on. Maryville 27, Lake Central nothing.
Expected.
Yep. Andrean 14, KV 3. KV hanging in there against a very good Andrean team. River Forest 14, Calumet 7. Michigan City 26, LaPorte 0. Lowell 28, Munster 9. Griffith in a little bit more of a fight than I thought. Griffith 14, Whiting 12 in the second quarter. Boone Grove 12, Lake Station 6. And then our last one to round up all the scoring for tonight, Hammond Central 18, Westside 0.
Some fun scores from around the region. That was your Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strachanvantil.com. Let's go ahead and step aside on the other side. We'll give you some highlights from half number 1. Highland making it interesting. They doubled up their point total in the last 3 games against Hobart, and it's a close one at half. This is Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
And welcome back to Zip Field, home of the Highland Trojans. We are here at the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections in Hammond, off of Kennedy Avenue. Jay Simmons to my left. I'm Lucas Moore. We've had a really fun game, Jay.
Yes, we have.
I mean, a really, really, really fun game in terms of what we expected coming in. First off, the Brickies fumbling the ball a few times, that's killer.
Yes,
right?
It is.
That's killer for Hobart, and it left Highland that space to figure themselves all out offensively. And I'd say that the fumbles are the main reason that we're at this 14-12 score. I think if Hobart can clean up the mistakes, it feels like it's their game to win because on paper they are a little more talented, they are a little bigger, they are a little stronger, they are more effective in terms of gaining yardage. However, is Hobart even capable of cleaning it up tonight, or is this one of those, you've got youth everywhere, a freshman quarterback, it's one of those mistake nights, and you have a historic upset pulled on you?
Well, the way it's going, I'm thinking Highland can do it. They got to come together, get something good in that opening drive, cause a couple more fumbles. If they can get Trey Gibson to cough up the ball one or two more times, or come up with a pick, this is definitely in their game. They need some breaks, no doubt about it. They need a break because just like you said, everything that Hobart does, they're expected to win this game. But if Highland get a couple breaks somewhere thrown in here, they've got a chance.
And a chance is all you ask for if you're the Highland Trojans heading into this game against the Hobart Brickies. All right, Jay, we've got a few replays to take a look at here, all of them brought to you by Castle Automotive Group, Castle Subaru in Portage, and Castle Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram and Buick in Chesterton. Make sure you shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fumble going in. This is started the game from Hobart. Trey Gibson gave it away.
Yeah, Trey Gibson just goes in, and all of a sudden, boom, as he's crossing the goal line, the ball pops out and rolls all the way out to the back of the end zone. Touchback goes Trojans.
And that wasn't a big opportunity early in the game, 0-0 for Highland. It ended up being more important that they kept Hobart off the scoreboard.
Yes, definitely.
At the end of the half. They had a 3-and-out on that drive, and Hobart ended up taking the lead anyway just a few minutes later. But breaks like that kind of defined the first half for Highland.
Yes, and as we said, breaks are going to need to be continued into the second half. But, yeah, they just seem to be able to – every time something would go wrong, Highland was able to overcome the mistake or the break. Hobart just seemed to be getting in their own way. And that's sort of like what you said, define the first half. Because that first drive offensively for Highland, they had an incomplete pass that should have been caught and two illegal procedure penalties, and all of a sudden now you're 3rd and 10. Okay, so well, let's go on to the next drive. Let's look at –
We're looking at the Castle Automotive Group replays right now. Here, the Hose Connections halftime report.
Yeah,
let's go take a look at that touchdown pass.
So Luke Abbott.
This was earlier in the half. Ehrlich, the dump out to Gibson. This was late in the half. This is actually the most important play of the half. One could make an argument. Nate, I'd love to see that one again so Jay can give us a nice breakdown of Noah Ehrlich moving in the pocket here, Jay.
Yeah, Noah moves to his left, flips the ball over. As you saw him getting rid of the ball, the linebacker that was covering Trey Gibson comes up and hits him just as he's letting go of the ball. To me, is if I'm trying to teach my linebacker a teaching moment right there, stay with Trey Gibson. Let the quarterback run the ball, get as many yards, because who would you rather have in the secondary running the ball? Noah Ehrlich or Trey Gibson? I think I'd take Noah Ehrlich every day.
Ehrlich has less than 20 yards rushing on the year. And let's go ahead and take a look at a Bricky touchdown.
Yep, that came at 59 seconds left in the half. Trey Gibson just being Trey Gibson. Good push from the offensive line. Trey Gibson has about 4 or 5 tacklers dragging him, or he's dragging them into the end zone. Big play right there for the Brickies. Punching that one in, and it took 50 seconds to get down the field. And that big play started it all.
And that big play, it was a good job from the Highland defense, other than the one small mistake you mentioned of a linebacker drifting off of Trey Gibson. But it was still a tight window.
Yes, very
that Ehrlich threw into a really, really impressive play from him. All those replays brought to you by Castle Automotive Group. That's Castle Subaru in Portage and Castle Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Buick in Chesterton. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. We'll step aside when we come back. It's half number 2. An opportunity to change the narrative, if you're the Highland Trojans, to do something no other Highland Trojan has ever done, and that is beat the Hobart Brickies. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking. Buy a car, remodel your home, pay for an education, expand your business. Tech Credit Union can help you do these things and more. You'll enjoy the latest banking services, but without the cost of the big bank relationship. With branches throughout the region, fee-free ATMs nationwide, and online services, they're convenient too. Learn more at techcu.org. Contact any branch or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA. It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
The team of sports medicine experts at Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana is committed to getting athletes back in the game, with a focus on not only helping patients recover from injuries, but helping improve athletic performance to prevent injuries. Orthopedic Specialists provides the most advanced, comprehensive care to their patients. To learn more about all orthopedic specialists can do to help rehab and prevent athletic injuries, visit them on the web at osni.org or call them at 219-923-3300. Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana, providing world-class care to Northwest Indiana for over 20 years.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do. At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
An absolute fight in the first half between these two squads. I want to use the word rival, Jay, but when a team has never beaten another team,
it's a lopsided rival.
Well, I think the one team would take offense to the word rival, right? You have to earn rivalries. You have to you have to make them back and forth, and that's not to offend you, a member of one of those Highland teams that got beat by the Hobart Brickies way back in 1982, but a narrative-changing game is what this has the opportunity to be, because if the Highland Trojans can beat the Brickies, now we can call it a rivalry. Now we can start saying, hey, this is actually an interesting matchup. NCC, Highland may be a little more of a threat than they have been in the past. I mean, this game can change the way you think about two separate programs and how two programs play each other, and it would be a historical accomplishment. We've given the stats already. Highland has never beaten Hobart. The rivalry or matchup has gotten bad enough over the last 3 years that the score, combined score from the last three matchups, Jay, one of these was a tournament game, 114 for Hobart and only 6 for the Highland Trojans. They have 12 tonight in half one, so already doubling it up. If Highland is able to get to 20 points tonight, it'll be the first time they've scored 20 since 2009 against the Hobart Brickies. They haven't scored more than 20, so getting to 21, since 2004. These are really changing items that are happening for Coach Pete Koulianos and his team. He's already made history once this year. 4 straight wins in the Battle of the Bridge, right? 4 straight wins. Never happened before against Munster. Did it with an exclamation point and a shutout, 28-0. So now you move on. Can you beat Hobart for the first time in school history? Down by 2, opportunity presents itself.
Yes, it does. And now all of a sudden, if this huge upset were to happen, it changes the configuration in just a conference race. Because now all of a sudden, this Hobart team that has only 1 loss now drops to 2. Now you throw Lowell back up into the second spot.
And Lowell's the one hoping that Andrean can find a way to lose.
And I think that's the last game.
And it's the last game of the year. So Lowell is looking at tonight.
Next week.
If Lowell can, if somehow, some way, Andrean doesn't hold on against KV, which appears like they will, but it was only 14-3 last you checked. this conference does hinge on the results of tonight, and Hobart is a team that feels like, hey, Andrean was the best team in the conference. They had to hit a 44-yard walk-off field goal against us after we made a pretty big comeback. They felt like that they might deserve a share of the conference title if Andrean would have slipped up this year. But a loss tonight takes them out of that race, and it sets up a de facto conference championship game for Lowell a week from now as they try to get a share of the title. Andrean wraps up at least a share with a win tonight, which would be their second straight conference title. Hobart won it back in 2019 in the NCC. Anything in terms of strategy that you want this Highland team to change on offense? We're going to see the Trojans first here in half number 2.
I think Highland's got to stay. They're doing a great job rolling out, getting the quarterback out of the pocket. They've all of a sudden have found a little niche with the option. Steele running the ball, taking it to the end, pitching it out to the running back. Those plays have really seemed to work. Don't get a little shy on third and maybe long or on first down. Come out throwing, change it up a little bit. Get this Hobart defense on its heels a little bit like they've been throughout the first half. Highland's done a nice job mixing it up, run, pass. It just seems like they got to keep that going right now. And Steele, boy, when he rolls out to his right, he is a marksman. He has dropped those balls in perfect position. So I think you got to stay with that. But I think Highland's just got to stick with that outside. They cannot waste a play and try and run inside. They tried that the first couple series, no dice.
And for Hobart, Craig Osika, you're saying, hey guys, we got to wake up. Two fumbles, one should have been a fumble. It was a sloppy first half from Hobart.
Yeah, we're in a battle now. You've given an underdog life, and now all of a sudden there's going to be some fight in this dog.
Life, fire, energy, passion, hope. All words you could use to describe the Highland Trojans halftime locker room. We'll see if those emotions carry into results for half number 2. Highland deferred the opening toss and will receive the football off the foot of Mickey Jankovic to start half number 2. Kick is away. It's towards Stevie Salmon. He takes it inside the 10 and uses the speed to get across the 20 close to the 25-yard line. And that is where this extremely crucial Highland drive begins, led by the quarterback, Nick Steele. I mean, you can make an argument if Pete Koulianos can do some magic in the locker room and find a way to win this game, you could look back at this drive as one of the signature moments in his time here at Highland.
Yes, definitely. He's just got to, even if you don't score, Highland's got to get a couple first downs. Get some momentum going their way.
Braden Jones, the receiver that worked his way towards the bottom of your screen. Nick Steele, the quarterback. Saw him use the legs late in half number 1. The 34-yard line, the line to gain. It's a reverse play. He pitched it out, and now a throw. Trick play from Highland. Salmon to Jones. Dropped it. Oh, no. So much went right on that play. A fake quarterback run, pitch to reverse, wide receiver throw, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that would have been a great catch by Jones. Surprisingly well covered by the Brickies, though. There was a man right next to Jones as he went up to make that catch. Would have been a fingertip catch. But, hey, great job. Way to open it up there, Coach.
Nick Steele sprinting right side. Made a man miss at the 30 with a nice juke. Won't be brought down easy. A first down for Steele. And the chains move as the clock stops.
Yeah, Steele did a nice job being elusive again. He doesn't seem to have that breakaway speed, but boy, he's quick and elusive all at the same time. Does a nice job just having guys miss him in a tight window. We have a player down.
Now, player slow. That's Trey Gibson for the Hobart Brickies.
That is not good.
Very not good. Gibson will walk off under his own power, but he is walking with a limp. And Gibson is not a common starter on defense, but he does find his way out there. And now the leading rusher, leading receiver as well, second leading receiver on the team behind Jankovic, is walking off the field gingerly. And that'll be something to watch when Hobart gets the football back, Jay.
Yeah, does that change their continuity on offense? Do they go more to the pass?
1st and 10. Hand off to Barsic. He only gets about 2 or 3, maybe just 1. 2nd down and 9.
To me, that's a wasted play right there. You got to stay away from going in between the tackles. That defensive front for the Brickies is just too stout to be moved around in there. Even though if you want to change it up a little bit, you want to keep those linebackers at home. I think you just got to keep going outside. You got to keep what's been working. Keep doing what's working.
In the middle of an offensive line for Highland, junior, sophomore, junior. So a younger group up front. 2nd and 9. Steele immediately rolls out left. He faces pressure, cuts it back upfield. Nice effort run from Steele, but only a yard or 2. It brings up 3rd down and long for the Highland Trojans, a big 3rd down. But at least you said they move the chains now.
Yes.
A punt here, your defense can still play, and you're still in the game.
And the key is right now, Trey Gibson going to be out for a while or what?
And that'll be certainly the thing to watch if and when the Brickies get this football back. We are in the opening salvos of the second half. The Trojans have 2 touchdowns. The Brickies have 2 as well. Both point after attempts failed from Highland. 1 an extra point, 1 a 2-point conversion. Handoff to Luviano on the jet sweep. He has a lot of room to run. He's across the 50. He stays in bounds along the right sideline before he steps just on the white chalk or turf, however you want to say it, and the chains move inside of Brickies territory. Go the Trojans.
Josh Tejada right there with the last reach to push the running back out of bounds right there. Luviano, he ran that tightrope for an extra 10 to 15 yards, and what a nice job. He stopped, let the flow go past him, and then cut it back to the inside. Did not go out of bounds.
1st and 10. Line to gain the 25 of the Brickies. Highland on a drive to open up the second half. They've already led once today. On this drive, they're looking to lead a second time. Barsic, the man next to Steele. Salmon in motion. They give to Salmon, and he's blown up in the backfield. An amazing defensive play from Gavin Miller, the middle linebacker, coming up on the edge and sniffing that play out for a loss of 4, Jay. 5, they push it back an extra yard.
Yeah,
second and
he looked like he blitzed right into that. Good play call by the Brickies. They're going to, they're going to sell out a little bit. Maybe it's time to go up into the air. Good steal out of the pocket right here, roll out to the right. We got trips down to the bottom of the screen.
2nd and 15. Jones and Salmon, the receivers to the right. They predict the rollout right, and Steele will take a sack. Flores brings him down in the backfield, and the Brickies defense starting to smell blood in the water. They've begun to swarm Nick Steele on the last couple of plays, and a 3rd down and 20 for the Highland Trojans offense.
Well, I think right here, if you get a nice gain, you got to go for it. I mean, if you pick up 10, 4th and 10.
Unless you trust your defense to pin him again. Is Trey Gibson going to play? Now, there's a lot of questions on the other side.
You got to take a shot right here.
3rd down and 20. Steele looking left, firing deep downfield, contested catch opportunity, and it's an interception. An arm punt, one would say, from Nick Steele down to the 15.
And they got the ball to 15, so I'll take that.
Yeah, that's one you knocked down.
Yeah, definitely.
But looked like Luke Abbott came up with the pick, so that'll be his nice add to the stat sheet for him.
You want me to
Although it might have been Mark Enslin, the linebacker, one of the two. Tough to see those numbers on the far side of the field, especially 15-14. But a nice defensive play brought down at the 15 by Hobart. It was on a 3rd and 20. It's a punt.
Yes.
And now the Highland defense has an opportunity to step up a solid drive to open the half from the Trojans. Ehrlich, handoff up the middle.
No, a good gang tackle right there by the Trojans, but
and it looked like
we have to see who's in there at running back.
That's what I was looking for.
Hey, Ryan, there's
did look like Trey Gibson from my angle. Ehrlich, Gibson, a deadly combination that was not on this Brickies team a year ago. That is Gibson in the backfield.
Yes, it is.
Gibson had that first carry for 5 yards. Going up the right sideline and pushed out of bounds.
Boy, nice job. The Brickies right there sealing off the edge.
And that's Mark Ensland they put in at running back.
Nice job right there. You notice that he didn't take off and go straight to the sidelines. He just sort of slow played it, and then once they sealed everybody off to the inside, turns it up. Big gain right there. Trojan defense has got to step up here.
So no Trey Gibson. It is Mark Ensland getting the carries. Ensland very athletic. So we'll see if it's much of a difference for the Brickies offense as they're already out to the 50-yard line. It's 1st down and 10.
Yeah, you can see Trey Gibson is on the sideline right next to Coach Osika.
And a very important player. They might be cautious, especially with the tournament looming large. Ehrlich, an on-the-run throw, dot to the sideline. Jankovic shakes tackles inside the 20. Still going inside the 10, and are you kidding me? That is a 15-year-old making that play. And Noah Ehrlich continues to show flashes of absolute
nice
brilliance.
Shot, flips it out there just as he's getting hit. And the nice thing is the receiver stops, comes back, high points that ball, and then makes a couple people miss, gets the ball down to about the 5-yard line.
This replay brought to you by Castle Automotive Group. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. Penalty marker is on the far sideline. That's what the officials are discussing. And it's going to be holding. So the play comes back.
Now, so it looks like the holding is on the 31. So it'll be, looks like it'll be.
Could be 1st and 1.
Yep. As a play caller, that means the playbook is wide open.
Yeah, boy, that'd be interesting. I've never seen a 1st and 1.
You don't have that in the play script.
Well, they might just put it right on the 40 and call it a first.
And that's what they're going to do.
Yep. The flag was sitting on the 31. The official does have the right to change the spot of where he flew through the flag, so they just push it to the 30, and it's a 1st down. You don't have to have a 1st and 1. 1st and 10 from the 40 after the hold. Still a great play from Ehrlich. Still a Bricky offense on the move.
Yeah, Ehrlich, just the great ability to scramble and keep his eyes downfield. For a freshman, that's quite good.
Handoff up the middle. This is Trey Gibson as he picks up about 7 yards. And it's 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, can't keep him down for long. Big competitor. And like you said, he's got how many yards? You're his publisher, so.
Well, stats speak for themselves. Trey Gibson over 3,600 career yards now. 2nd down and 3. Line to gain is the 30-yard line. Ehrlich hands off Gibson. Works off right tackle. Trey Gibson back in the game with a flurry. Trey Gibson extends the Bricky lead with a 30-yard touchdown run.
As you see the play develop, you see the linebacker for Highland step up, runs right past Trey Gibson. Trey Gibson then bounces where the linebacker was up the sidelines for the touchdown. Pretty much untouched.
2nd touchdown of the day for Gibson. 59 career touchdowns for the former Wheeler, current Bricky back. 6:30 left in the 3rd quarter, and this extra point, critical, makes it a two-possession game, Jay.
Yeah, Brickies right now starting to flex their muscles.
Snap back. Hold is good. Great block attempt, but won't be able to get it. It's good, and a 2-score lead at 21-12, and a tough road ahead for the Highland Trojans. We'll be back. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes. Anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
And a big welcome back to Zip Field here at Highland High School. 21-12 the score, and extra points aren't often paid attention to, Jay, but extra points is what's making this a 2-possession instead of 1-possession game for the Highland Trojans. A missed PAT, a missed 2-point conversion, and now you're down by 9 instead of 7 or 8, and it's a whole different ballgame.
And when I saw Highland going for 2 on that first or that second score, I'm thinking, it's too early to be chasing those points. You always don't chase points until you get into the second half.
And a kick away here from the Brickies to the Highland Trojans. Offense moved a bit in the first half. Salmon back at the 1. He's going to take this out. Across the 15-20. Salmon with the speed. Salmon brought down luckily at the 45 for the Brickies. And Jankovic was the last man standing from the electric Salmon, breaking that for a touchdown.
Yeah, Solomon does a nice job. Takes the ball straight into the wedge and just finds a seam and explodes right through it. That's the way you should return kickoffs. You don't want to go laterally because guess what? That means your pursuit is going to follow you, and usually you don't pick up any yards.
First down and 10 now for Highland at the 45 after the excellent return from the junior Salmon. Steele, quick toss, caught near the border, near the boundary and out of bounds for about a 5-yard pickup are the Trojans.
The number 84.
And that's Andrew Sands on the reception, a wide receiver senior.
Nice catch. Tippy-toed it right on the sideline.
One of the backup receivers on the squad. Second down and 5. Quick toss out, Steele. He got rocked. Jones with the catch, trying to make men miss in space. Uses the stiff arm to get past the 40. Inside the 30. Jones still going before he steps out of bounds. Inside the 25-yard line, the senior Braden Jones making his quarterback look awfully good. Nick Steele took a whack on that play, Jim.
And also a great block at the point of attack by the other receiver that was lined up out there. A defensive back shot right up. I thought he was going to either knock the pass down, intercept it, but a nice block to the outside. Receiver caught the ball on the move, which was crucial, and just busted it up the field. Again, straight line right down the field.
First and 10, inside the 25, the Trojans trying to respond to the Trey Gibson touchdown. Steele, option pitch left, gets it to Barsic. Inside the 20, Drew Barsic brought down helmet high, but a first down inside the 15-yard line.
And, first down. Steele, again, did a great job on that play. Takes the option to the defensive end, makes him commit to him. Then as he commits to him, he pitches the ball out there. Nobody assigned to the running back to make the tackle out there.
First down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Steele in the shotgun. Going to roll out right immediately and be brought down just as quickly. About a 3-yard loss on the sack.
Right there again, they went back to the well. They went back to the option. This time, they had 2 guys out there, one assigned to the quarterback, one assigned to the running back. And once that happens, quarterback don't pitch it because guess what? It's going to either end up a fumble or your running back's going to get blown up right there. So good job of keeping it.
And this Brickies defense feels like they're getting a bead on what the Highland offense is doing. Salmon with a catch alongside the 20, and he's upended near the original line of scrimmage. Maybe just short of it. 3rd and 12 looks to be. Got to get the 4-yard line for a first down, Jay. And if you're Highland, this feels like definitely 4-down territory.
It is.
I mean, you've already watched a snap on an extra point go awry. We're watching the warm-up kicks before the game. I don't know if we'll see Eric Tanis step out to try to take a kick again. We don't know if that operation is as smooth as it needs to be against Hobart.
Well, I think just the way the scoring is going right now, you definitely need to try and keep up with the Brickies. You've got to score a touchdown here.
3rd down, 12. And a false start. Make it 3rd and 17.
Highland just trying to make it a little bit more difficult.
Got to get the 4 inside the 5 for a first down. With a 4.
Like I said, though, you're definitely in 4-down territory.
See if they can just get set up inside the 15 or so. Big pressure coming from the Brickies. Steele slips, falls down at the 31, and it's 4th down and a mile. Is it 4-down territory, Jay?
Yes, it is.
I mean, what play are you going to run?
A good play. You're definitely you're not going to punt it, and you're certainly not going to kick a field goal. I mean, if you can't hit a PAT, then
yeah. Oh, this is definitely not a field goal.
No, but why punt it? What are you going to get? 10, 12 yards, 15 yards?
Al, if you had a really good punter you trusted and you knew he could put it inside the 5, then maybe you consider it. But maybe you do an arm punt situation. We saw it earlier on a 3rd down and 20. This time a 4th down and 28. Steele, eyes downfield, shoots it up the right sideline. It's dropped. Salmon had it. Wouldn't have been a first down, but it would have helped field position. Now the Brickies are going to start at the 31-yard line instead of inside their own 20, and a great starting spot for Greg Osika and his Brickies.
Yeah, Steele just had to get that ball out there a little bit quicker. The receivers seem to have to stop and wait for the ball, so he's got to just release that ball just a step or two sooner, so that way his receiver A can catch the ball on the run, and B make a move with possibly try and get the first down touchdown after the catch.
Bricky's offense has really been in a rhythm. They've had back-to-back scoring drives, one at the end of the half, one to start the half. And a big blow-up up the middle, a nice defensive play to stop Trey Gibson behind the line of scrimmage. First time he's been stopped for a loss today, and it's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, nice job of stonewalling that play by the Trojans. They pulled a couple linemen coming across the field. Linebacker stepped up, held his ground, paid the price for it, though, going up against an offensive lineman and a smaller linebacker. But he forced the play back to the inside.
This Highland defense, led by defensive coordinator Eric Miller, stepping up again. They've had an impressive night tonight. Tough to hold this Brickies team back. Ehrlich, quick dump out, Enslin, and he's tackled immediately. Nice tackle on the play to make sure Enslin didn't go anywhere. And that's
at 33 for the Trojans.
Jesus Alinas, the sophomore, 5'9", 175 pounds, and he made up for that size with aggressiveness as he wrapped up Enslin and slung him to the ground.
Yep, a nice job. Enslin tried to make a move one way or the other, and he just held his ground, kept his weight balanced, and then just went up and made the nice tackle.
And it felt like he was the initiator, which is such a big part of tackling. You got to hit them, not get hit. 3rd down and long. Ehrlich out of empty. Firing down the middle of the field. Has a man. Diving effort. Can't get there. Trey Gibson opened down the seam, and it's incomplete.
Well, Ehrlich just had to put a little bit more air underneath that ball, let his receiver run to it, but he sort of threw a line drive and just a little bit too far out in front of the receiver. Trojan defense does its job.
4th down in a punting situation. And this Highland defense steps up again.
And it looks like we got a timeout, or he didn't have his helmet. He didn't have his helmet on when we ran onto the field, so he has to come off.
I'll come off and make that change. And this, to me, goes back to the 4th and 28, rather.
Yes.
If you punt inside the 5, this punt's happening from inside his own end zone.
Well, if he catches the pass on that one.
Oh, that's also true. Jankovic gets the punt off, end over end. It bounces at the 40. And will stop just short of the 30-yard line. Nearly a disaster. Joey Hopitz, the senior, was following the football and almost got knocked by it.
And one of the coaches was trying to explain to him as he was walking to the sidelines, hey, you've got to get away.
Yeah, ball's coming. If it touches you, it is a disaster. Okay, this Highland offense.
Here we go.
Back on the other side. Before we break down their drive, we want to thank Toyota of Maryville for sponsoring high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. And when you're looking for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Toyota of Maryville. We make it easy. Still an opportunity for Highland. They are still very much in this game. They are 2 extra points from it being a touchdown game.
Now, see, if they would have kicked the extra point on the second touchdown, it'd be 21-13.
Steele, quick toss out, left, it's caught. This one by Braden Jones makes his way up the numbers close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Braden Jones does a nice job. Once he catches the ball, get upfield, made a guy miss, gets a nice gain on first down, 2nd and short.
Looked like a gain of 7 on first down. 2nd and 3 now.
And the receivers got to find out where the line of scrimmage is. They were a little deep there.
Ball spotted now. Steele in the shotgun. Fakes a handoff. Eyes over the middle. Soft touch. Going up and getting it. What a catch by Nick Johnson, the sophomore, making a statement up the middle. Chains move into Brickies territory. Here's the replay.
Steele sits in the pocket, takes the big hit, floats it out there. The receiver jumps over to Brickies and makes a great catch. High point in the ball. What a nice big play for the Trojans.
That replay brought to you by Castle Automotive Group. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. Johnson, just a sophomore. That's only his 8th catch of the year. He's over 100 yards on the season now. There was a Hobart penalty on the play. It was declined.
Yeah, Johnson used every inch of that 6'4" frame to make that big catch.
Right up the middle, over 2 Bricky defenders. 1st and 10 now. Nick Steele's really turned it on since the interception. And the officials continue to have communication issues on the field.
Well, the official in the white hat was about 20 yards behind the play, and then he signaled it in, and he was nowhere being set or ready for the play.
1st and 10. Steele fakes a handoff, went to roll out right, tosses one up blindly for Johnson. He's tripped up inside the 30, close to the marker at the 24-yard line.
Boy, Nick Steele leading a charmed life right there. Had 1 second to, as soon as he saw that defender, just floated it out there, knew where his receiver was supposed to be, put it on the spot. Great. Another back-to-back catches by the tight end, Johnson.
And you can feel the confidence brewing for Nick Steele. And an injury substitution is why the whistle blew on the far sideline. Trey Gibson, the one that came into the game in the secondary. 34 seconds, quarter 3. The Trojans are in a battle with the Brickies. Not something often said since these two teams have met since 1982. Steele tosses one up. It's floating, and it's intercepted. It came out bad out of the hand, and tackling the interceptor down the sideline are the Highland Trojans. And a massive play for the Brickies. And another unfortunate interception. It looked open, but it came out wrong in the hands of Steele, and a big pick.
Yep, right there. Steele just floated a duck up there, and the receiver tried to do the best he can to try and defend against it, and nothing doing. He had the position on him. Oh, boy, that's just a deflator right there.
Now replay brought to you by Castle Automotive Group. Shop Castle Cars Direct at castlecarsdirect.com. 3 interceptions today from Nick Steele. 1 an arm punt, won't count. 1 was in the red zone, was a tough one.
Yes,
and
it
that
was.
one a tough pill to swallow as well. Driving were the Highland Trojans, and he's played so well tonight. He's been asked to do almost everything for this Highland offense, but 2 mistakes he's going to look back on as real missed opportunities. Won't have time to look back, though. He's out on defense. Ehrlich with a soft toss to Braden Carlson, the fullback with space and power inside the 40, dragging a man to the 30. Braden Carlson out of the backfield.
Braden Carlson just trucked a couple defensive backs. He is a load to bring down, and none of those defensive backs for the Highland Trojans wanted anything to do with him once he broke into the open field.
6 foot, 215-pound senior. I wouldn't want anything to do with him either. First down and 10 now, Hobart. Nearing the end of quarter number 3. Ehrlich, handoff Gibson, following his blockers right side. Bounces it out for a first down. Chains move. Clock stops with 5.5 left in quarter 3. Late penalty marker is out. We'll see what that flag was.
Right at the first down marker, right at the 21-yard line.
And it's going to be on the Highland Trojans. The officials kind of pointing towards the Highland pile of bodies. Looked like to be after the play to me.
Well, let's see what the official signal here.
Yeah, dead ball foul, personal foul. It is on Highland.
Well, what a
half the distance.
A deflating play on the interception, and then now the Brickies. That's the sign of a good team. They get a break. What do they do with it? They just punch it down the field.
And this Highland defense, they've done such a good job.
Yes, they have.
But just there's been a couple plays here, a couple plays there. You leave a big enough hole, and there's so much talent on this Brickies offensive side. I mean, this is a unit that averages 350 yards per game and 35.6 points, and that's a big reason for it. Trey Gibson in for 6 and his 60th touchdown of his high school career.
Yeah, Trey Gibson right there just gets the handoff. Fouls a couple of his linemen right through the hole and gets it. Doesn't get touched until he's in the end zone.
And how about Trey Gibson to add on to this Bricky lead? And the hope for Highland is fleeting now.
Yes, it is.
Jankovic on to attempt the extra point. This would make it a 16-point game, 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. It is good, and the Brickies have their biggest lead of the night. And how about Hobart? Battling back and keeping the upset at bay, at least for now. We'll see if Highland has a response in quarter number 4 when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking. Buy a car, remodel your home, pay for an education, expand your business. Tech Credit Union can help you do these things and more. You'll enjoy the latest banking services, but without the cost of the big bank relationship. With branches throughout the region, fee-free ATMs nationwide, and online services, they're convenient too. Learn more at techcu.org. Contact any branch or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Pete Gulianos and the Trojans felt like they were making some real narrative-changing plays in this game, and it's just 3 interceptions from Nick Steele, a couple false starts, a couple key holdings in some spots, dropped passes and what felt like opportunities to take, and I think this might end up feeling worse at the end of it all if Highland can't correct the ship here in the fourth quarter, because the opportunity was there tonight.
Yes, it was.
For the Trojans.
Well, when you come in as big of an underdog as the Highland Trojans did tonight, you've got to play a perfect game. You can't have all those mistakes that you talked about happen and still be able to overcome a team as talented as the Hobart Brickies are, not only in the specialties positions, but also the offensive line, the defensive line. They are they're extremely well coached, and it's tough to do. And it makes it harder when you inflict some of the pain on yourself, like right here.
Dropped kickoff from Luviano. He picks it up and continues to go. Coverage broke up from the drop a little bit. How about Leo Luviano up the left sideline? Still going, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Trojans.
I'm looking around. I don't see any flags.
Leo Luviano shrugs the shoulders, said, I don't want to make it easy. Scoop and score again. Second time he scored in that fashion tonight. And Highland, we were writing their obituary. Instead, Luviano writes a 99-yard touchdown into the books.
What a play. And I think part of it was that when he fumbles the ball, that disrupts the pursuit, the angles that everybody's taking.
And we're watching the whole kickoff here. The Castle Automotive Group replay. Let's go ahead and see this, Nate, instead of the extra point, if we can get it. Well, it looked like it might have froze up. That's all right. Big-time play from Leo Luviano. Here it is. Here's the Castle Automotive Group touchdown. Take it away, Jay.
Right there. Just mishandles it. The pursuit overshoots him, and then he breaks it up right down the sideline, makes a guy miss right there, and then just outruns the rest of the coverage. What a great job. Brought some life back to this Highland sideline, and they're going for two. Let's see what happens.
2-point conversion attempt here from the Highland Trojans. This to make it a one-score game. Fake the jet to Luviano, incomplete. Trying to fire it in the end zone, Nick Steele. Instead, no good on the 2-point conversion, but a touchdown on a kickoff. That is what you needed if you're Highland. Now the defense has got to step up and make a play again. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
Big welcome back in to Zip Field here at Highland High School. 18 points tonight for the Trojans, Jay. That is the most points by a Highland team against Hobart since October 16th, 2009. That's 4,375 days ago. That's the last time that a Hobart team got to 20. They had not even gotten above 14.
You mean the Trojan team?
The Trojan team, excuse me. The Highland Trojan team has not gotten to 20 against the Brickies since that overtime loss in 2009, a whole 4,375 days ago. They're at 18 now, not at 20 yet, but still, this is the highest total, and I say this because of progress, because it has really been a proud night if you're a Trojan fan, the way they've come out and played against this highly talented Bricky squad.
And it looks like the Brickies are lined up for the onside. Let's see what they do.
Trojans
out of bounds. Yep.
And it'll be good field position for Hobart. And it's just up to the Highland defense. They're going to need – I don't know if Hobart can score again and you even think about winning if you're the Highland Trojans. I mean, it's a must-stop situation now for the Brickies. For the Trojans, rather.
And they spot them a good field position right at the 35. Kicker's got to get that ball inbounds. I think the thought was to get it over the two waves and have the upman have to run a long way to get it, and giving your players a chance to get up the field and try and recover it.
First down and 10 from the 35 after the kickoff out of bounds. Ehrlich handoff to Gibson. Room to run left side. Trey Gibson dangerous. He's off to the races. Inside the 40. Jones in pursuit. Won't catch him. Trey Gibson, 4 touchdowns on the night, and he's become unstoppable despite the first half fumbles. How about Gibson, and how about this Castle Automotive replay?
Yeah, Trey Gibson just gets into the secondary and just outruns the entire Trojan defense, going the 65 yards. Am I correct? 65 yards, untouched for a score. That drive took 12 seconds.
65-yard touchdown run from Trey Gibson. That is 61 career touchdowns. 24 touchdowns on the season from Trey Gibson. And Jankovic will miss the extra point.
Pulled it a little bit left, sort of like my iron shots.
Looked like his holder Enslin might have got bumped a little bit, but in an attempted block. 34-18, though. Will it matter? We'll see. We're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
Trey Gibson, what a turnaround performance. 2 fumbles, nearly had a third, Jay, but the officials got together and did a little high school football instant replay and changed the call on the field and said that Trey Gibson was down. That would have been his 3rd straight fumble. After that point, Jay, when we thought Gibson had fumbled for a 3rd time and a half, he's been dominant.
Yes, he has.
Dominant. He's got 4 touchdowns tonight, 61 now on his career, 24 on the season.
Let's see. He's got a 10-yard run, a 32-yard run, a 9-yard run, and then the last one, the most impressive, a 65-yard run untouched.
And those 24 touchdowns this season, those are rushing. He's got another 2 through the air. So that's 26 total touchdowns in one season. I mean, this is a really impressive stretch from Trey Gibson, and he's angling to be one of the region offensive players of the year just from the statistical production. And Salmon will scoop this one up on the run. No kickoff magic on back-to-back kickoffs for Highland. Now the offense will make its way out in the field.
He needed to fumble it and then pick it up and run with it.
That's the key. Been an interesting one, certainly, here at Zip Field.
Interesting and entertaining.
Certainly. And Highland showing up much better than most people pegged this game to be at. 45-17 was the predicted score on John Harrell, whatever you take into account on that. But that is a computer model picking the game. But 45-17 was the predicted score.
It can still get there.
Potentially. But I think in the spirit of the game, Highland has certainly played better than 45-17. Steele, a quick toss intended for Salmon, incomplete. Enslin on the coverage. And it's 2nd and 10.
And that was the opening play of the game right there where it went right through his hands. Highland's got to, they keep the momentum, keep the spirit up. You played a great game against the really high-powered offense, defense of the Hobart Brickies. I just can't describe what they need to do. They need to it seems like the air has been sucked out on this Highland sideline. They need to get some momentum back here.
Still 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. So technically still a 2-possession game here.
Yes. I mean, Highland's got to A, get up to the line a lot quicker, and B, get that ball down the field.
And that missed extra point from Jankovic, we didn't highlight it as much at the moment. But that is the difference between it being a 3-score game and you could almost put the coffin nails into it.
Yes.
Now, we've seen crazier.
Yes, we have. A couple weeks ago when we did the Hobart Andrain game.
You and I were ready to.
We had it boxed up and ready to go home.
Of course, Andrain ended up winning that game anyway. Is Steele shimmying, dancing, fumble into the lap of the defender and a walk-in touchdown.
Steele giving every ounce of effort and just sort of bobbled the ball.
And Ryan Flores.
Let's watch it again right there. Steele giving all the effort right there, bobbles it, ball pops up in the air. And who was it that recovered the touchdown?
Ryan Flores looked to be the linebacker, scooping. Well, not scooping, catching and scoring.
I was going to say mid-air scoop and just walks in for the touchdown. Now you can put that nail in.
And that's probably gonna do it.
But Steele with just a second and third effort trying to get a first down on a 3rd down and long play, just comes up and just gets the ball hit out of his hands.
And this score is going to look a lot worse than it should.
Yes.
As Jankovic nails this extra point, and it's 41-18. We'll step aside. The Trojans, victims of big plays from the Brickies here in half number 2. Their offense will try to respond once again when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Big welcome back to Zip Field here at Highland High School, as the Trojans have given their best effort since 2009 against the Hobart Brickies in terms of offensive production, but some big plays here in the 4th quarter have made the score much worse than it really should be, Jay. I think Highland's played much closer than 41-18, but Trey Gibson, big-time play, just had a fumble recovered for a touchdown, Ryan Flores, and now the game's gotten out of hand and gotten to where a lot of people thought it would have been.
Right.
Around mid-3rd quarter. A lot of people would have thought this game would be here, and I don't think anybody would have picked the Trojans to have 18 tonight.
So you got to look at the scoring right here. Trey Gibson scores with 0 time left in the end of the 3rd quarter. Leo Lavavino, did I say that right? Luviano, sorry. 95-yard kickoff return at 11:42 in the fourth quarter. Trey Gibson, 65-yard run at 11:28. And then Ryan Flores, a pick in the middle of the air on a fumble, and that's at 10:38 left in the 3rd quarter. So just in a matter of a couple minutes, 4 touchdowns. Well, actually, clock time, that would have been a minute and 22 seconds.
Yeah, good math.
There we go.
Lots happened.
Fast and furious.
10:31 left, quarter 4. And now the Highland offense can try to operate once more. Highland, the way they played tonight, certainly a winnable game next week at KV.
Definitely.
It would be a nice way to end the regular season. Of course, we'll find out on Sunday what all these teams will be doing in the postseason. As Luviano keeps going, would not stop the legs and got the first down. Reckless runner Luviano. He's dropped the ball twice, scored on both of those plays. He's taken multiple negative 5-yard runs.
Yes, he has.
But he's also had numerous 15, 20-yard runs up the sideline. That one only 8, but still impressive from Leo Luviano.
He probably had to run 50 yards to get that 8.
He's a speedster. Legs move quickly on the 5'7", 165-pound junior. 2nd down and 2. Jones, the receiver, just off the bottom of your screen. Handoff going nowhere.
Nope, and that's
Josh Hubbard on his first carry today.
And that's been the sign of the time all day, that you don't run in between the tackles against this Bricky front.
3rd down, 3 to go. We're under 10 to play. And this Bricky team just wears people out.
Yes, they do. And it's, and sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot. They seem to wake up in the second half.
You and I were at the Lowell game, and I think
Yes.
that there's a lot of echoes. We heard that in the press box here. A lot of echoes to that game as Nick Steele gets a first down up the left sideline. I think Lowell hung in there without the mistakes necessarily. I think Lowell could theoretically have given a better effort. Crown Point and Chesterton in a dogfight right now. Is it ending? Crown Point's going to upset Chesterton. Wow.
14-7.
14-7. The Trojans and Chris Mullen are going to go down
1
in the
minute
DAC.
left.
Potentially.
Yes.
A minute left, 14-7 the score. They picked up the flag, so good thing I wasn't looking at the field. I was looking at the Crown Point Chesterton score.
Yeah, let's see if Trojans can. Now, this is the thing right here. You get some positive momentum. You get a score here. You carry it into next week to KV. Then you carry it in to the playoffs. You know, the Trojans have played a hard-fought game tonight.
You know, it'll be just interesting to see who Highland draws. Because in the section, I think that there's a winnable game or two in there.
Yeah, and if they play the way they did tonight.
Especially with Lubiano moving those quick legs out to the 40. Yeah, they certainly. I think there's quite a few teams in their section that they could beat with the way they played tonight, Jay.
Yeah, they definitely have risen to the occasion. They just got to clean up the mistakes.
Just to recap of Sectional 17, Hobart, Gary West, Lowell, Griffith, EC, Highland, and KV. That's Section 17.
Yeah, well, you just hope when you get the draw, you don't draw Hobart.
But, hey, if you draw Hobart, you played them tight.
Yes, yeah. You can sneak one in there.
Second down, 3 to go. Handoff up the middle.
Number
Avion
9.
Wilson, the sophomore, with his first touch of the day.
It looks like it's going to be
short of the marker, though.
Third and just about a little bit less than a yard, right at the yard.
8:05 left, fourth quarter. Game got out of hand a whole minute, 22 seconds, and 4 total touchdowns.
Yes, three by
Trey Gibson.
Yep.
Well, 2 by Gibson.
Two by Gibson. Well, of the last 5 touchdowns, Trey Gibson has scored 3.
And he had one earlier in the game as well. And he fumbled a ball going into the end zone today.
Yes, he did.
New quarterback in for Highland, Max Smith, the junior, on the handoff that time. Clock stopped because he went out of bounds. 7:36 left. Third down and 3. Line to gain the 38-yard line. Fourth down and 3, rather.
And it looks like they're going to line up for the punt.
Yep, punt team coming out. Eric Stannis will be the punter. And this is interesting. Fourth down and 3. I mean, I know the score, but.
And the thing that's going on right now is this forward momentum, it looked like had been stopped, and then he was pushed out a couple yards later. Was the clock supposed to be stopped? Was the play clock supposed to stop? And all that kind of stuff going on.
Now Pete Koulianos will use a timeout, and we'll go ahead and step aside for 30 seconds. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to Zip Field. Punting situation, down 41-18. The Highland Trojans have elected to punt here on 4th down and 3. And that should indicate everything about the game you need to know. Ball at the 41. It was a crazy minute and 22 seconds.
Yes, it was.
From end of third quarter till early fourth quarter that really ended this game. 3 of those 4 touchdowns were from the Brickies, one a defensive touchdown. Another one of those touchdowns, the only one by Highland, was a kickoff return for a touchdown. So it was very fast, quick, and this game changed. It went from 21-12, Hobart, to 41-18 just a minute and 22 seconds later, and that's where we sit right now with still just over half of this fourth quarter remaining. Brickies are going to hand off, and hand off again, and the way they've been pushing the middle of the line tonight, I imagine they'll be able to get some first downs and bleed the clock.
Well, as long as they don't give it to Trey Gibson, because he could go
all the way,
90 or 81 yards for a touchdown. We saw it on the last drive. Trey Gibson, 65-yard touchdown run, untouched.
I would guess Gibson's night's done.
Yes. That would be the smart thing to do.
That would be wise from Coach Greg Osiki. Came up limp one time today. Handoff up the middle to a big man who won't go down. Who'll get the number when he stands up from the pile. That's Mark Enslin on the carry. Enslin just looks, he just looks bigger than his listing. Because Mark Enslin's listing is only 5'9", 190. Are you serious? Because, we read the rosters. I picture a guy in my head. I'm like, Enslin's 5'9", 190. And then you see him out there and you're like, you sure? Do you guys measure that right? He certainly plays bigger. 6:15 left, quarter 4. Enslin again. Penalty marker down. Probably going to be a hold. And we'll wait on the call on the field. Let's go ahead. Since we're marching towards the end of this game, first we want to thank Toyota of Maryville for sponsoring high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. And when you're looking for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Toyota of Maryville. We make it easy. And we also want to remind you to stay with us after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. The RSN crew will be on hand to recap all of tonight's action from around the region, including that potential major upset, Crown Point over Chesterton. The Dogs have finished it on the road against the Trojans of Chesterton. An incredible upset from Crown Point, and it really changes the outlook of the DAC. We'll have some time to talk about that as this game rolls to an end here. Handoff goes Enslin again, keeps the feet fighting. He gets just across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 3rd down and long upcoming for the Brickies. Let's go ahead and talk about our awards for today's game as we near the end of this battle that was much closer than the current score indicates. Let's do our Crown Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crown Companies are the insurance superheroes, and they're proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. Your Crown Company's Lantern Man, superhero of the game, Jay.
And we're going to go with Trey Gibson, 4 touchdowns,
really,
over 100 yards rushing.
I might have been over 200. We'd have to get the book, though.
Yes. And the thing, he's got to work on ball security for once they get into the playoffs. You can't have those fumbles. It should have been 3. They only gave him 2, but that's but I thought it was 3. But like I said, 2 turnovers in tonight's game. He's got to clean that up.
Played a little loose with the football, but with so much talent, it didn't quite matter. He is now at 26 total touchdowns from today's game. 26 touchdowns is quite incredible.
There we go.
He is our Crown Company's Lantern Man, superhero of the game. It's been one heck of a season for Trey Gibson. He's going to hit 4,000 career rushing yards before this season is over. He might hit it next week with the way he's running right now. A punt for Mickey Jankovic. What's happening on the field in front of you? That was our Crown Company's Lantern Man, superhero of the game, Trey Gibson, as this punt will roll up the sideline. A very friendly roll for Hobart, and that's described the second half for the Brickies, certainly. And now it's time to name our second award of the night, Jay, the Great Lakes Roofing Blue Collar Player of the Game, player that showed grit, toughness. That's brought to you by Chicagoland's #1 commercial roofing contractor on the web at greatlakesroof.com.
We're going to go with Nick Steele, the quarterback from the Highland Trojans, also defensive back for the Highland Trojans.
Played well out there, too.
Yes, he did. He made some nice tackles in the secondary, but the way he got hit by this Hobart defense and got back up and continued to play throughout the game, that's some serious toughness. And you're talking Nick Steele, 6'3", 180 pounds. He's got some big guys like Alex Pickett, 5'10", 240. Noah Miller, 6'3", 245 coming at him. Jake Simpson, 5'11", 220. Justin Sawyers, 5'10", 220 coming after him all night long, and he's been hit by those guys several times. And when he was running the option, several times he got hit. He got hit by Ryan Flores, who's been hitting people all over the region. So great job, touchdown pass, and then a nice little option run for their second touchdown. We flipped it out there, bounced up for Leo Luviano. Made a nice job of picking it up on the bounce, and then we have another score for him on a bounce. But a nice job overall, both offensively and defensively, by Nick Steele. Great job just hanging in the pocket, though, throughout the night, getting beaten up.
Yeah, you mentioned those weird bounces for Leo Luviano. We'll talk about that in just a second. That was our Great Lakes Roofing blue-collar player of the game, the quarterback of the Highland Trojans, not in the game right now, Nick Steele. That one is brought to you by Great Lakes Roofing. Call 886-551-7121 for a free estimate. Make sure you have your roof fixed. If I didn't have an apartment, I would be calling them. But luckily, the only leakage, if something's leaking from my ceiling, it ain't rain, okay? It's something else, all right? I got people that live above me. But let's go ahead and talk about that Leo Luviano bobble scoop and the IKORCC play of the game, brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. It was that kickoff return, Jay.
Yes, it came at 11:42 in the fourth quarter, 95-yard kickoff return. He bobbles it, drops it, bobbles it. He has to take a couple seconds, pick it up, gather himself, and then at that point, all the kick coverage had over-pursued.
Or gave up or relaxed.
Yeah, well, what happens when you fumble ball, all of a sudden everybody pads and, they got their lanes are supposed to stand. Well, all of a sudden when you see that, their lanes get crossed up. People start pursuing the ball too quickly, and he found a lane right up that left sidelines and made a one-man miss, then outran a second man. Great job. Brought the crowd to his feet.
It was an excellent play from Luviano, and for a second you thought it might be something that would get him back in the game. It made it 28-18 after the kickoff return for a touchdown, but it did not. The offensive explosion continued for the Brickies, as this is a nice punt off the foot of Eric Tanis. That was our IKRCC play of the game. Congratulations, Leo Luviano, on a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That is presented by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Learn more at IKRCC.com. Training, professionalism, and partnerships for economic development. 41-18 the score, just under 2 minutes to play. Brickies will get the ball, most likely kneel it out. And those were our three awards.
Why don't you go to the last page on that? There you go.
I'll wait for the conclusion of the game.
Okay.
I've done this 79 times, Jay. This is my 79th high school football
congratulations.
broadcast.
I vaguely remember my 79th broadcast.
Boom. Well, when you were doing your 79th broadcast,
It would have
I
been
was
just-
playing my first kid pitch baseball game. So, minute 53 left in the fourth quarter.
You're only talking like 14 years ago.
Yeah, I was 9 14 years ago. I was 9 14 years ago.
Yeah. Thanks for making me feel a lot better about myself.
Well, Jay, when you try to make me do the credits before I want to do them, that's what I'm going to do to you. Minute 53 left in the fourth quarter, 41-18.
As you walk away from this game, you look at the score, say, this was a blow-up. If you look at Hobart, you got to think, okay, wait a minute, we got to clean this first half thing up. They stumbled a little bit against Andran. They stumbled a little bit against Lowell in the first half. So, they've got to come out of the locker room ready to play. Once the playoffs start rolling and they start moving through the sectionals and then to regionals and so on, they've got to clean that first half up. On the flip side, if I'm Highland, I watch the tape until the end of the third quarter, then I burn the rest. Because at that point, Highland was playing really solid offensively, defensively, and maybe they just got a little tired. Maybe they, just the talent level.
Well, we've seen the Brickies do that to some teams this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw it against Lowell. So we
saw it against Andran. I mean, although they were down, they wore them down and made a big comeback at the end.
So Highland's got nothing to be ashamed about. Great game. I think this is something they can build on for the future.
Their best showing in this game since 2009. They had not scored more than 14 points in any game against Hobart since 2009 when they scored 20 in an overtime loss. That's their best showing in over 4,300 days. So things to be proud about for the Highland Trojans, as this should be the last snap of the game.
I'm glad you weren't dating it back to when I played in 1982 here.
Yeah, well, there has been some, better games throughout there. 21 point, 20 point. And the data isn't so great in the late 80s.
Yes.
You guys didn't
Stone
have,
Age. It was
yeah,
a Stone
you didn't
Age,
have
man.
the internet thing going on. That'll be the end of this one. The Highland Trojans are defeated 41-18 by the Hobart Brickies. The Brickies advance to 5-3 and 3-1 in the NCC. The Highland Trojans fall to 3-5 and 1-3 in the NCC as well. A valiant effort from the Highland Trojans, their best effort in this game since 2009, but the Brickies, too much at the end of it all. We want to give a big thank you to our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our coordinating producer, Nathan Laird, our video man, Josh Harbaugh, did a great job. He had to work around a speaker up there, and then I was watching him over the shoulder of our producer, Nate Ramian, who did a great job as well. Excellent job tonight. We want to thank Ryan Harrington, the athletic director here at Highland High School. We want to thank the coaches tonight, Greg Osika from Hobart and Pete Koulianos from Highland. More importantly, we want to thank all the viewers around the region and the world at facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. The final score one last time, Highland 18, the Hobart Brickies 41. For Jay Simmons, I'm Lucas Moore. I want to thank you so much for watching the broadcast tonight. Brickies 5-3 and keep moving on. This has been the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.